California, the Lucky Strike program starring Jack Benny, with Mary Livingston, Phil Harris, Rochester, Dennis Day, and yours truly, Don Wilson. Yes, here we are, spending our second week in Palm Springs. So let's go out and visit the place where Jack Benny is staying, the Cantata de Casa La Quinta de Castil Cañada. At the moment, our little star is drinking in the rays of the morning sun, while Rochester is rubbing him with oil.
What a wonderful day for a sunbath, eh, Rochester?
It sure is.
Get any on my trunks?
Turn over, boss. I want to get some oil on your back.
Okay. Be careful you don't get any on my trunks. This is the life. Oh, Rochester.
What is it, boss?
Nothing. Rochester.
Yes?
Oh, never mind.
Come on, boss. What is it?
I'm really built, ain't I?
If you say so, sir.
Well, I guess I'm greased up enough. I think I'll just lie out here on the sun deck.
Boss.
You know, it isn't every place where you can step out of your room and get right up on the sun deck.
Boss.
Yes?
This thing you're lying on is a ping pong table.
It isn't a sun deck?
No! Why do you think they have that net across the middle?
I thought the other side was for women. I've been peeking through the holes for nothing. Oh, look, Rochester. Here comes Miss Livingston.
Oh, yes. Hello, Miss Livingston.
Hello, Rochester. Hi, Jack.
Hello, Mary. I'm glad you dropped over.
So this is the Cantata de Casa La Quinta de Castilla Cañada.
Mary, you don't have to say it like that. This is a very nice place. You know, I'm paying $3 a day for my room.
$3?
Well, Mary, I felt the same way, but then this is the height of the season. You know? Anyway, what do you mean dumb? Come on in. I'll show you my room. Palm Springs Biltmore.
Well, Jack, you're very smart.
Thank you.
That's better than paying Biltmore prices and overlook the dump you're living in.
What do you mean dumb? Come on in. I'll show you my room. Come on in, Mary.
Jack, I can't see a thing. It's so dark in here.
Well, they finally fixed that hole in the roof. Rochester, get a match and light the lamp.
Yes, sir.
That's better. You see, Mary, this room is nice and large.
Wait a minute. What's this lawnmower, wheelbarrow, rake, and garden hose doing in the corner?
Well, you see, Mary, the rate on this room is really $4, but they don't have a tool shed. And they said they would make an adjustment if I let them keep their garden tools in here.
Well, at least they keep you well supplied with towels.
This is the laundry room, too.
Rochester, nobody asked you. Come in.
Oh, pardon me. I didn't know you had company. I just want to get the lawnmower.
Oh, it's right there in the corner, Ed.
Thank you.
One, two, three, four, five. 1, 2, 3.
Rochester, what are you doing?
I count my toes every time he leaves.
Well, I don't blame you. Jack, of all the places in Palm Springs, you had to get stuck
Mary, forget it. I didn't get stuck with anything. This is a very nice...
Hey, Benny, there's a telephone call for you.
Okay. Excuse me, Mary. I'll be back in a minute. The phone is just down the hall. Dum-dum-dum-dum-dum-dum-dum. In the Nickelodeon, all I want is loving you and money, money, money. Dum-dum-dum. Oh, here's the phone. Hello?
Is this Jack Benny?
Yes.
One moment, please. We have a person-to-person call from Los Angeles. Go ahead.
Hiya, Jackson.
Phil, I thought you were in Palm Springs. What are you doing in Los Angeles?
Well, I was in Palm Springs, but I had to hurry back home when I found out I forgot something.
Oh, what'd you forget?
Alice.
Phil, how in the world could you forget her?
Well, the day we were supposed to drive down to the Springs, I was a little careless. I wasn't watching.
What do you mean?
Well, I was sitting in the car after she put the luggage in.
Yeah?
And I thought she got in, too.
Well, tell me, Phil, when did you first realize you'd forgotten Alice?
Well, as soon as I got to Palm Springs, I went to the Racket Club, had dinner, and when the waiter handed me the check, I knew she was missing.
Oh.
And Jackson, let me tell you something. When I got home, she was furious.
What did she do?
She was so mad at me, she put Rudy Valley's picture back on the piano.
Well, I don't blame her.
The one with the megaphone yet.
Well, look, Phil, I hope you'll be back in time for rehearsal. You see, we're having Al Jolson on the program this week, and your orchestra will have to accompany him.
Sure, we got it. What do you think Jolie will sing?
Whatever he sings, Phil, I don't want the accompaniment to sound like That's What I Like About the South.
All right, now wait a minute, Jackson. Why don't you stop picking on my tune?
Because I'm sick of it, and I'm not the only one. Every time you and your boys sing it, Frankie Remley just sits there with his mouth shut.
Look, Dad, if you left the South under the same conditions Remley did, you wouldn't sing about it either.
You mean?
Yep, Frankie had more feathers on him than the wild goose.
No kidding.
Well, Jackson, I can't make you laugh any longer. Alice has got the car packed again. Now and out, you sweat it out, huh?
Yeah.
Alice has got the car all packed again, so we're going back.
Okay,
Goodbye.
goodbye, Phil. So long. That Phil is an amazing guy. 14 years ago, no one ever heard of him. Then he wrote one song, That's What I Like About the South, and overnight he made millions of enemies. Mary, Mary, where are you?
Right here in front of you.
Oh, yes. When you come in out of the light here, it's hard to see. That was Phil on the phone.
Phil, what do you want?
I don't know. I forgot to ask him.
Say, Jack, it's so nice out. Why don't we go for a swim in the pool?
In the pool?
Yes.
I'm sorry, Mary, but the Cantata di Casa La Quinta di Castil Cañada doesn't have a swimming pool.
No swimming pool?
No, but they have something just as good. See, when the temperature reaches 102, a bellboy comes around with a water pistol and lets you have it. It's very refreshing, especially when they use ice cold. Come in. Oh, it's you, Ed.
Yeah, I hate to keep disturbing you while you got company, but I finished mowing the lawn. Now I came in to get a sack of fertilizer.
A sack of fertilizer? Where?
You're sitting on it.
What?
Thanks, lady. You won't have to stand long. I'll bring it back soon.
Jack, I'm not going to ask you how I can live in this room, but let's go outside.
Okay. You know, Mary, I wish we did.
Oh, Jack, here comes the bellboy.
Where?
Mr. Benny?
Yes?
It's 102.
You see, Mary, it's very refreshing.
I wouldn't know. I ducked.
Would you like a towel, Mr. Benny?
Yes, thank you.
Hey, Jack, isn't that Dan hacking his way through the sagebrush?
Dan?
Dan.
Yeah, where?
In the lobby.
Oh, yeah, Don, we're out here.
Oh, hello, Jack. Hello, Mary.
Hiya, Don.
Jack,
What?
this is the craziest place I've ever seen. As I came in the lobby, some screwball was trying to shoot the goldfish.
Goldfish? No, Don, he was just filling his gun. I'll explain it to you later.
Jack, I want you to meet a young lady who's appearing here in Palm Springs at the Dunes, Miss Connie Barlow.
Yes, I know her. Hello, Connie.
Hello, Jack.
Connie, Mary and I heard you singing at the Dunes Cafe the other night, and we thought you were wonderful.
Yes, Connie, but during your number, we had a difficult time hearing with all the dishes rattling. Oh, were you near the kitchen? We were in the kitchen. Jack forgot his wallet. Well, that could happen. A lot of people leave their wallets in their rooms. Jack left his in Waukegan.
Waukegan. You're just mad because you washed more dishes than I did. It does get warm out here.
It sure does. Right now, I'll bet it's 95 in the shade.
95? I'll bet it's 100.
You're both wrong.
What?
It's 102. Here's your towel, Mr. Benny.
Thank you.
Would you like another shot?
No. No, not right now. Maybe later.
Ooh, here comes another guest. It's 102.
Oh, for heaven's sake, bellboy, that isn't a guess. That was Dennis Day. Dennis, speak to me.
Wait till I get this goldfish out of my mouth.
Here, Dennis, here's my towel.
Thanks.
Hey, I haven't seen you all week, kid. What have you been doing?
Oh, a lot of things. At 5 o'clock this morning, all the people at my hotel got on horses and we rode way out in the desert for a breakfast ride.
A breakfast ride? Oh, that must have been a lot of fun.
Some fun. All I had to eat was cactus.
Cactus?
I got lost.
Imagine eating cactus.
It tastes awful, but you don't need any toothpicks.
I never thought of that.
Oh, Jack, here come the fellows who were on your program last week, the Guadalajara Trio.
I wonder what they want here.
Que nos pague para irnos.
No nos vamos a casa hasta que nos paguen.
Dennis, you understand him. What do they say?
Well, he says they want to be paid for last week.
I don't know a word of Spanish, and I could have told you that.
Mary, please.
Hemos esperado toda la semana y necesitamos dinero para mantener las familias y los chilpayates.
Look, fellas, mañana. I told you I'd pay you mañana. Now, why don't you go home?
Es todo lo que hemos oído toda la semana. Queremos nuestro dinero y no nos vamos hasta que nos lo dé.
Now stop raising all this fuss. I told you I'd pay you pronto. Pronto.
Jack, pronto means now.
Oh. Fellas, mañana. Mañana. Now go home and adios.
Ese señor ven y apesta.
Wait till the laugh is over. Wait a minute. What did you say? What?
Ese señor ven y apesta.
Sí, como un zorrillo. Eso no es nada, como zorrillo y marrano.
What did they say, Dennis?
They said they like to get their hands on the guy who said this was the land of opportunity.
Now, fellas, look, will you go away and leave me alone? I'll take care of you mañana. I've heard enough.
Jackson, you ain't heard nothing yet.
Well, Al Jolson.
Hello, Mary.
Hello, Al.
Hello, Dennis.
Hello, Asa.
Say, Al, I know you're going to be on my program, but what brings you over here today?
Well, Jack, I thought we ought to get some things settled first.
Oh, you mean about the songs you're going to sing?
No, about the money you're going to pay.
Huh?
You heard me, Jack. Money.
Mañana.
Fellas, be quiet. Adios. Gotta find out what that means. Now, look, Al, don't you think it's a little undignified? Look, you haven't even been on my program yet, and here you are asking me for money.
Jack, look.
What?
I don't mean this program.
Hmm?
I mean the time I appeared on your show 2 years ago. You remember?
2 years ago.
That's the longest mañana I've ever seen.
All right. Now, Al, as long as you're going to be on my program Sunday, tell me what numbers you're going to sing so that I'll be able to...
Wait a minute, will you?
What?
And that's the reason I came over here. I'm willing to be on your show, but I'm not going to sing.
Why not?
Well, I've taken enough ridicule. Especially from the guy on your show, that fella, Mel Blanc.
What do you mean, Al?
Look, Jack, I don't mind people doing jokes about my age or my pictures or Larry Parks. I don't mind people imitating me. But this fella Mel Blanc keeps inferring that when I'm singing a song, I keep going, yeah.
But, Al, let's face it, you do, don't you?
What? From me? Jolson? That's singing.
But, Al, I saw your picture. Jolson sings again, and when you sang, you went, at least 20 times.
Did you see the picture after dinner?
Yes.
I had indigestion.
Oh, well, that could happen to anybody. Anyway, Al, I'm sure you know what you're talking about, so I apologize for anything Mel Blanc did. It won't happen again.
Good.
Now, if you'll just step into my room, we'll discuss the songs you're going to do on the program.
Okay, Jack. Holy smoke, what a room. It looks like a cave.
Well, Al...
Well, I can understand a man wanting to rough it. What do you do when the bear comes home?
What?
It has twin beds.
Oh, Oh, stop. Now, Al, look at Al. What do you think you'll do for your first song?
Well, Jack, I've got a brand new number that I really think you're going to like it. It's called Remember Mother's Day.
Remember Mother's Day? But, Al, Mother's Day isn't until next month. This is April. Why don't you sing April Showers?
April Showers? How does it go?
How does it go?
Yeah, how does it go?
Oh, and April's... Oh, don't be funny, Reverend. How does it go?
Jack, look, even though Mother's Day isn't next month, I just made a recording of it, and really I'd like to sing it. After all, I am a mammy singer.
Okay, Al, if you're that sentimental, go ahead. Al, that was delightful. Really, really great.
Oh, it was wonderful, Al. Thrilling. Wasn't it, Dennis?
That's singing.
Dennis. Don't listen to him, Al. It was swell.
Oh, thanks, Jack, thanks. And I hope you noticed that not once in the whole song did I go, meow.
I know, Al, and again, I apologize. Now, Al, did you bring the musical arrangements for the songs you're going to do on the show?
Yes, I did, Jack, but I only brought enough for 16 encores.
16 encores?
Yeah, we may have a cold audience.
Well, I wouldn't worry about it. I'm sure that... I'll get it.
Hey, Mr. Benny.
Yes?
It's 102.
No.
We're out of water.
What?
Would you like a towel or a cookie?
Neither, and get out of here. Now, Al, getting back to my program, what are you going to do for your second number?
Well, how about one of my old ones? You know, like, well, let me see. Oh, yeah. Toot, 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 say goodbye.
He couldn't even remember. Al, you did it. You did it.
I did what?
All through the number, you kept going. Come in.
Jack, it's a bear.
A bear?
How do you like that? I thought I made up a joke.
Rocket, turn down the other bear. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank Al Jolson for dropping by today. And next Sunday, we'll be broadcasting from Hollywood.
Say, Mr. Benny.
What is it, Dennis?
The cactus I had for breakfast this morning wasn't very nourishing. I'm hungry. Have you got anything to eat?
Something to eat?
Yeah.
Oh, sure. Here, kid, have a banana.
No, pronto.
I said banana, not mañana. Now go home.
The Lucky Strike program starring Jack Benny with Mary Livingston, Phil Harris, Rochester, Dennis Day, and yours truly, Don Wilson. Ladies and gentlemen, on the corner of CBS Square, there's a small drugstore which is frequently visited by radio personalities. At the moment, Mervyn, the soda jerker, is talking to Flossie, the new waitress.
Take it easy, Flossie. Don't be so nervous.
I can't help it, Mervyn. After all, this is my first day as a waitress.
It's nothing to worry about. What did you used to do?
I was in the movies.
You? You was in the movies?
Yeah. I was head popcorn popper at the Pantages.
Well, why did you quit?
My boyfriend got tired of kissing my salty fingers. Gee, I hope I make good at this job.
Oh, don't worry. You'll do all right. Uh-oh. Get ready for business. Here comes Jack Benny and some of his cast.
Oh, gee, celebrities. Who are they?
Dennis Day, Don Wilson, Phil Harris, and Jack Benny. You see? They're starting to cross the street.
Oh, yeah. Which one is Jack Benny?
The one that looks like he won't make it. Hey, you better set a table for him.
Okay, Mervyn. Give me 4 glasses of water.
You'll only need 3. One of them never touches the stuff. Now, come on. You better get busy, Flossie.
Now, come on, fellas. There are plenty of tables.
Let's sit over by the window.
Okay, by me.
Hiya, Mervyn.
Good health to all from Rexall.
Phil, why do you always make him do that?
Well, it only cost me $1 a month, and if my sponsor comes in, he'll be impressed.
Why?
Because this is a thrifty drugstore.
Oh. Well, let's sit down, fellas.
Your order, please.
Get some new talent here.
Your order, please, gentlemen.
I'll take a ham sandwich on rye and a cup of coffee.
Yes, sir.
I'll have the same.
Yes, sir.
And I'll have a glass of milk and some apple pie a la mode.
Yes, sir. What flavor ice cream do you want on your pie?
Oh, no ice cream. Just put on a scoop of mashed potatoes.
Dennis, why in the world do you order pie with a scoop of mashed potatoes?
Because I'm a slow eater.
What's that got to do with it?
Ice cream melts.
Well, I asked him. He answered me. Now I'm too sick to eat.
What do you have, sir?
Well, I'll have a shrimp cocktail, some clam chowder, a porterhouse steak, hearts of lettuce with Thousand Island dressing, some green peas, French fried potatoes, a piece of chocolate layer cake, and a cup of coffee. Can you remember that?
I hope I can carry it.
That'll be all, miss.
Thank you. I'll be right back with your orders, gentlemen.
Hey, fellas. Hey, she's a kind of cute-looking girl, isn't she?
Yeah. Huh? Nice personality. Beautiful red hair, sunny smile, trim ankles, cute little figure, and...
Phil, remember, you're married.
I know, but I can still take inventory, can't I?
Yes. Hey, Dennis, what are you looking at?
There's lipstick on my glass.
Lipstick? Well, I'll call the waitress and tell her...
Oh, no. This is exciting.
Then what's exciting about lipstick on a glass?
It's spring, Dad. Spring.
Oh, be quiet.
Oh, say, Jack, there's a new record here in the jukebox called Dearie. It's sung by Dennis.
By me? Oh, boy, I'm going over and play it.
All right, go.
Nobody touch my glass.
We won't touch it. Play the record, will you?
Will you gentlemen have anything else?
No, not me. I've had enough.
I'll bring you a check in a minute.
Hey, say, Phil, how about coming over to my house for a little gin rummy?
Well, I'd like to, Jackson, but I got to go home and wash Alice's hair.
Phil, you wash Alice's hair?
I used to be on for Fitch. I got to use that stuff up some way.
What?
Slip yours off. I'll wash that, too.
Never mind. Say, Don, how about you coming over to my house?
Well, I wish I could, Jack, but I've got to go back to the studio and make some spot announcements.
Oh. Say, Dennis, would you like to come over to the house, play a little gin rummy with me?
No.
Why not?
You cheat.
I cheat?
I've been watching you. When you play, you deal off the top of the deck.
What?
The man I played with on the train always dealt off the bottom.
For heaven's sake, kid, when will you learn?
Here's your check, gentlemen.
Oh, I'll take it.
Good. Well, fellas, I'm going home.
Mr. Benny, do you want me to drive you?
No, thanks, kid. It's such a nice evening, I think I'll walk. So long, boys.
So long, Jack.
Gee, the weather's balmy. Spring is the nicest time of the year. Trees are green, flowers are in bloom. Makes a fella feel good. Toot-toot-tootsie, goodbye. Toot-toot-tootsie. Where does Jolson get off saying he doesn't go, yeah? Da-da-da-dum-bum-bum-bum.
Excuse me, mister.
Huh?
Could you spare a dime for a cup of coffee?
A dime? Well, let's see. I haven't got a dime. The smallest I have is half a dollar.
I haven't eaten since yesterday.
Well, look, buddy, here, take the half a dollar.
Gee, mister, thanks. Thanks a lot.
You're welcome. Dum-dum, tootsie, goodbye. Yum, bum, beam, bum, bum, bum. Gee, that was nice of me. He only asked me for a dime, and I gave him a half a dollar. I wonder if it's deductible. What's the difference? Toot-toot-tootsie, goodbye. Half dollar, goodbye. Da-dee-da-dum-bum-bee-dum. Da-da-da-dum-dum-dee-um-bum-bum-bum-bum-bee-bum. Yeah, fellow only asked me for a dime, and I gave him 50 cents. Gee, I wish Luella had been there to see it. Maybe I'll call her when I get home. Well, here's my house. Wasn't such a long walk after all. Let's see now, which one is my door key? Here's the key to my car, the key to the garage, the key to my hope chest. If Mary doesn't ask me soon, I'm going to start wearing those things. Oh, here's the key to the door.
Boss, is that you?
Oh, Rochester, I didn't know you were home.
I'm in the kitchen.
Rochester, isn't this your day off?
Yeah, but I thought I'd stay home and get caught up with these dishes.
But look, you've let a whole week's dishes accumulate. Why do you let them pile up like that?
It isn't my fault. It's that new soap you bought. We just can't get together.
What do you mean you and the soap can't get together?
When tide's in, I'm out.
Oh, say, Rochester, on the way home...
Excuse me, boss. I want to put these clean dishes away.
All right. Rochester, you know, on my way home, some poor fella asked me for a dime.
Uh-huh.
But I gave him 50 cents. Rochester, why'd you drop those dishes? All I said was I gave a man 50 cents. Rochester, you didn't have to push that second stack off the drain board.
I didn't touch them. They jumped off by themselves.
What a mess.
Boss, look at me.
Huh?
Did you really give a man 50 cents?
I certainly did, Rochester. And, you know, if I had known the wonderful feeling, the warm glow I'd get from being generous, I would have started earlier in life.
Boss, would you like to talk about my salary?
Mañana. That's a word I picked up in Palm Springs. Well, Rochester, I've had a long day, so I think I'll go to bed.
Okay. Good night, boss.
Good night. Toot-toot-tootsie, goodbye. Toot-toot-tootsie, don't cry. Da-dee-da-dum-boom-boom. Da-da-da-dum-dum. Gee, I bet I'll really sleep tonight. Ah, this bed feels good. Feels good to get my shoes off, too. That's a funny-looking sock. Oh, for heaven's sake, I told Rochester 1,000,000 times, don't put my gloves in that drawer. No wonder my toes were cold. They were separated. Where are my pajamas? Oh, here they are. I don't ever remember being as tired. Oh, my goodness, I almost forgot. Dear Diary, April 9th, 1950 cents. Today, I did a wonderful thing. A needy person asked me for a dime for a cup of coffee, and I gave him 50 cents. Rochester, what happened in the kitchen?
I don't know. I'm in bed.
Oh. Well, I better get to bed, too. I got to get up early tomorrow morning and play golf with Mary. Oh, gee, I forgot to call Luella and tell her about giving that man 50 cents. Yeah, but then maybe that's too hammy. It was nice of me, though. I didn't even know the fella, and I gave him 50 cents. 50 cents. He didn't have a gun or anything. I just gave him 50 cents.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is your CBS worldwide correspondent bringing you the event you've all been waiting for. Today, dignitaries from the four corners of the earth have gathered at this banquet to pay homage to the most generous man in the world, Jack Benny.
That's me. He's talking about me. They're giving me a banquet.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, this great event is coming to you from the banquet room of the Taj Mahal. The dais is replete with dignitaries. A hush falls over the audience as the master of ceremonies rises to his feet. He is none other than the Honorable Winston Churchill.
Winston Churchill? At a banquet for me?
Ladies and gentlemen, it is with a deep feeling of pride that I have come here to preside on this wonderful occasion. Little did our guest of honor know that his exhibition of generosity would shake the very foundation of the world. I know that most of you were as shocked as I was. When the news reached me, I was sitting on the front steps of number 10 Downing Street. As you all know, I'm not quite inside yet. And now, as your master of ceremonies, it is my pleasure to bring you the next speaker. A great cinema star from Hollywood, Mr. James Cagney.
James Cagney?
How do you do, ladies and gentlemen? It's a pleasure to be here. There are so many things going to be said tonight about Mr. Benny tossing 4 bits to a panhandler that I'm not the kind of a guy who makes flowery speeches. But I'd like to say one thing. Good health to all from the Taj Mahal.
Phil must be paying him, too.
And now for our next speaker. Another celebrity who not only regards Mr. Benny as his best friend, but has for many years had the good fortune of being Jackson's next-door neighbor.
He called me Jackson. Winnie called me Jackson.
And here he is, our next speaker, Mr. Ronald Coleman.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. If I were king, I couldn't possibly wish for a better neighbor. If I were king. Yes, if I were king, I would bestow upon our guest of honor the title of knighthood. If I were king. If I were king, I'd see that every man in my kingdom had 5 acres of land, a 10-room house, and a glass with lipstick on it. And now, before I conclude, I would like to assure Mr. Churchill that the 50 cents that Mr. Benny gave away came out of his own pocket and will not be deducted from the Marshall Plan.
Of course not.
Thank you, Ronnie.
That's quite all right, Winnie.
Ladies and gentlemen, while Mr. Churchill is introducing the next speaker, I want to take this opportunity of passing through this vast audience and pointing out some of the other celebrities who are here today. At the far end of this table, I see Princess Elizabeth. Seated next to her is Madame Chiang Kai-shek. Looking down the table, we see Queen Juliana of the Netherlands. And seated next to the Queen, we have a lovely lady dressed in ermine cape, star sapphire tiara, and a diamond bracelet. I beg your pardon, miss, but I've taken the liberty of describing your jewels, so now may I ask, who are you?
I'm the girl who works in the drugstore.
Oh, well, who is this sitting beside you?
Don Wilson. He hasn't finished eating yet.
So now, once again, we take you to the dais and Winston Churchill.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, another great man and speaker, Mr. Cary Grant.
Good evening.
Cary Grant is here, too.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm very happy to be here tonight at the Taj Mahal honoring this great man. I'd like to say only this. Mr. Benny may have had the experience of being Charlie's aunt, but I was a male war bride.
Thank you, Mr. Grant. And now we come to one of the highlights of the evening. A man to whom Mr. Benny gave the 50 cents. Mr. John L. C. Cerrone.
That's the guy. That's the guy I gave the money to.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm very happy to have this chance to talk to you because, I have a confession to make. When Mr. Benny gave me the 50 cents, I didn't want to buy nothing to eat. I just want to take the 50 cents and buy a sweepstake ticket.
Sweepstake ticket?
Well, I did. And that night I went home and I was just hanging around the house. I wasn't doing anything. Just hanging around the house. I didn't feel like doing anything. So I was hanging around the house and... I started listening to the radio. All of a sudden, the radio started talking to me. And I had the radio for 3 years. I never said anything to the radio. The radio never said anything to me. I didn't speak to any furniture in my house at all. All of a sudden, the radio says, "Did you know that you are the winner of $150,000? I said, "Who? You? Me? Yeah." I said, "You know what my number is?" He said, "Your number is 204-759-03-07-M6-9907. 389-044. 8773, John L. C. Cerrone. I said, "Holy smoke, that's me." $150,000.
$150,000?
That's what I want.
Then $150,000 is mine. I gave you the 50 cents. I paid for that ticket. It's mine. It's mine. I paid for it. I paid for it, do you hear? It's mine. I paid for it.
Boss!
It's mine. It's mine. I paid for it.
Boss, wake up!
I paid.
Huh? Huh?
Boss, you've been yelling in your sleep.
Oh. Oh, yes, I was dreaming.
What were you dreaming, boss?
About giving that man 50 cents. Oh, for heaven's sake, there go the rest of the bit. Ladies and gentlemen, the impersonations of Winston Churchill, James Cagney, Cary Grant, and Mr. Salvoni, the man I gave the 50 cents to, were done. All of these impersonations were done by Frankie Fontaine. Ronald Coleman was impersonated by Dennis Day.
The impersonation of giving away 50 cents was done by Jack Benny.
Thank you, Don. Thank you. Good night.
program starring Jack Benny with Barry Livingston, Phil Harris, Rochester, Dennis Day, and yours truly, Don Wilson. Ladies and gentlemen, spring is here. And last night, as a romantic moon smiled down on Beverly Hills, our little star was sitting alone in his den by an open window.
Ah, look at that moon. Smell those orange blossoms. Now I know what they mean when they say, in the spring, a young man's fancy lightly turns to thoughts of love. Gosh, most of my friends are married, and I'm... Hello?
Hello, Jack. This is Mary.
Oh, Mary. Mary, how are you, Mary?
Well, I'm fine, Jack, and Jack, I hope I didn't disturb you.
No, Mary. I'm just sitting here in the den thinking.
Well, that's funny. I've been thinking, too.
That's funny. That's what I've been doing. Thinking.
Well, look, Jack. We've known each other for a long time, and, it's spring, and...
Yes.
Well, I know it isn't my place to say it, but...
What's the difference? Which one of us says it? It's spring.
All right, I'll say it. Jack.
Yes?
Why don't you get your house painted?
That's what happened last night. And this morning...
I'll get it, Rochester.
Good morning, Jack.
Mary, what are you doing here so early? And who's this man with you?
He's the painter.
The painter? But, Mary, I didn't have a chance to think it over. After all...
Mr. Hawkins, this is Jack Benny.
Hi, Rube.
What?
I've certainly heard a lot about you. Shake. Sorry, forgot I was holding a wet paintbrush.
Mary.
I took him off another job to come here.
Well, why'd you have to bring him so early? I haven't even had my breakfast yet.
Go right ahead. I won't disturb you at all. I'll just come right in and...
Ouch, my foot.
Oops, dropped my ladder.
Well, don't just stand there. Pick it up.
Okie dokie. Hold this.
Give it to me by the handle. Heaven's sake.
Oh, boss, your coffee's getting cold.
Okay, Rochester. Say, Dow, would you like to have breakfast with me?
Don't mind if I do.
I'm talking to Miss Livingston. Mary, would you like breakfast?
I wouldn't mind some coffee.
While you're having your breakfast, I'll go through the room and then give you an estimate.
Good.
My, what a lovely piano.
Not with a paintbrush. Mary, what kind of...
Jack, it was an accident. Come on in the kitchen, have your breakfast.
Okay. Rochester, put an extra cup on the table.
Oh, hello, Miss Livingston.
Good morning, Rochester.
Just in time. I made a nice batch of pancakes.
Well, I was only going to have a cup of coffee, but since you have pancakes, Rochester, what's that thing you just put on the plate?
A hypodermic needle.
A hypodermic needle? What's in it?
Syrup.
Syrup?
In this house, we don't pour it on with careless hands. We inject it.
Now, stop making things up. Mary, this thing that looks like a hypodermic needle is really a cake decorator, and it's filled with whipped cream. It comes in handy when you want to write Happy Birthday or Merry Christmas.
Well, what's it doing on the breakfast table?
Mr. Benny not only wants his pancakes size of $1, but I got to write E pluribus unum on every one of them.
Rochester.
Putting the feathers on the eagle is murder.
Rochester, be quiet.
You know, Jack, the way Rochester's got those pancakes fixed up, they do look like dollars.
Yeah. Say, Mary, you want to hear something funny?
What?
Yesterday when I was shopping, I thought I'd have a little fun, so I tried to pass one of them at the meat market.
And what happened?
Well, the butcher bit it to see if it was good. It was good, so he ate it. Now, come on, let's go.
Hey, Rube.
Huh?
I looked at both your upstairs bedrooms, and they look nice and green.
Oh. Have you seen the bathroom?
No, I haven't been outside yet.
Outside?
Oh, forgot I was in the city.
Well, go upstairs and look at it.
Okay, Rube. See you later.
Wish you wouldn't keep calling me Rube all the time. Mary, how in the world can you bring a strange painter you know nothing about and expect
Oh,
me...
wait a minute, Jack. Mr. Hawkins isn't a stranger. He's an old friend of my family. It was on account of him that my sister Babe broke her leg.
You mean he broke...
Oh, it wasn't his fault. Papa hired him to do some painting. And when Mr. Hawkins put the ladder up against the house, Babe thought it was an elopement and stepped out the window.
No.
Yeah. She landed with her head in a bucket of paint, and for 2 years she was known as the girl with the green hair.
Mary, while you were off last week, did you write that routine? You know, if you did, it's the last time that you... Come in. Hiya, Don. How are you?
Oh, all right, I guess.
Don, what's the matter?
No, I'd rather not talk about it.
Now, wait a minute, Don. I know something's bothering you. Now, what is it?
Well,
Come on, Don. What is it?
Well, Jack, a terrible thing happened to me this morning. I stepped on the bathroom scale and I weighed 186 pounds.
Well, Don, that should have made you happy. That's 90 pounds less than you ever weighed.
Well, I was happy. I was thrilled. But then I discovered something.
Oh, your bathroom scale was wrong?
No, my stomach was resting on the wash basin.
Don. Look, he likes it. Don. Don, did you come over here just to tell me that joke?
Oh, yes, Jack, I thought it was very funny.
Oh, you did, eh? Well, Don, there's an old Chinese proverb that says, announcer who make joke about stomach and basin soon washed up. Another joke like that and I'll be washed up. My writers own an oil well. I can't do anything with it.
Got to be running along now.
Okay, Don. See you later. You know, Mary, I was just thinking of something. I hope this fella doesn't charge me too much for painting the house. I mean, I don't want to go to a lot
Oh, for heaven's sake, Jack. You only have your house painted every 5 or 6 years. Why be so cheap?
Cheap? Mary, I'm not cheap, and I resent your saying that.
What?
You may not know it, but last week a fella stopped me on the street, asked me for a dime for a cup of coffee, and I gave him 50 cents. There they go again.
What was that?
I'll explain it to you later. Every time I...
Oh, I'll get it. Oh, hello, Dennis.
Hello, Mary.
Hi, kid.
Hello, Mr. Benny. Can I use your phone?
The phone? Sure, kid, sure. Go ahead.
Hello? Now listen, you, I've warned you before, and this is the last time. This town ain't big enough for both of us, see? I'm giving you 24 hours to get out, or you'll wind up at the bottom of the river in a barrel of cement. So get out of town, punk, and stay out.
Dennis, who are you talking to?
Humphrey Bogart. I drive him nuts.
What?
Dennis, why do you keep calling Humphrey Bogart and telling him to get out of town?
I'm in love with Lauren Bacall.
Dennis, I don't care who you're in love with. Don't you ever do that again. Bogart may trace the call and find out it came from here, and he'd come over and punch me in the nose.
What's the matter, you chicken?
Chicken? Dennis, what's come over you lately?
I don't know, but if it changes my voice, I'll lose 2 shows.
Now, look, kid, you came over here to use my phone. You used it. I'm too busy to listen to your silly talk, so why don't you go home?
Well, don't you want to hear the song I'm going to do on the program first?
Well, all right, let me hear it. But as soon as you do the song... there's someone at the back door. Oh, Rochester! Rochester! Oh, well, I'll answer it myself. The flowers that bloom in the spring, tra-la, the flowers that bloom in the spring, tra-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la. Yes?
Excuse me, mister. Could you help a feller out?
What?
I ain't had nothing to eat since yesterday.
Say, wait a minute. You look familiar to me.
Huh?
Didn't you stop me last week on Vine Street?
Say, that's right. I asked you for a dime for a cup of coffee, and you give me $50.
I thought I saw your face before. Well, look, I'll arrange to get you something to eat, but first I'd like to ask you a question, Mr.
Savoni. John L.C. Savoni.
Well, Mr. Savoni, this question sounds silly, but did you buy a sweepstakes? Did you buy a sweepstakes ticket with the money I gave you?
Oh, no. That would be spending the dough foolishly.
Oh. Well, what did you do with the money?
I bought a guide to the movie star's home.
You were so broke that you had to beg for money, and you spent it to buy a guide to the movie star's home?
Well, I'll tell you how it happened anyway. I was hanging around the park, and I wasn't doing nothing. I was just hanging around. I didn't feel like doing anything. I said to myself, what are you doing, John? I always call myself John. I never call myself Mr. Savoni. That's my father's name. So I said, I ain't doing nothing. And I wasn't. I was just hanging around the park. Well, I started feeding some of the peanuts to the pigeons.
Uh-huh.
I don't know why I shared my peanuts with the pigeons. They never shared nothing with me. After a while, a fella comes along. He says, hey, you. I says, who? He says, you. I says, me? He says, yeah. Ooh, he made me so nervous. I said, what do you want? He says, do you want to buy a guide to the movie star's home? And I wasn't doing nothing, so I bought it.
So that's what you've been doing all day, walking around looking at the movie star's home?
Yeah, and I already saw Gregory Peck, Ray Milland, and Lina Turner. Lina gave me her autograph.
She did?
Yeah. And while she was signing her name, she smiled at me. It made me so nervous.
Well, you just wait here, Mr. Salvoni, and I'll have a man fix you something to eat.
Thank you. But don't make nothing fancy. I'm in a hurry. I got to get over to Bob Hope's house by 5 o'clock.
Oh, are you going to get a meal from Mr. Hope?
No, I'm one of his writers.
Well, look, you just wait here and I'll have some food brought to you.
Wait a minute. It's 4 o'clock. Can I have a cocktail first?
No, my bar doesn't open till 6. Oh, Rochester.
Yes, boss?
There's a hungry man out in the back. Will you go in the kitchen and fix him something to eat?
Yes, sir.
You know, Mary, that's an amazing coincidence. It's the same man who asked me for a dime last week, and I gave him 50 cents. Rochester, what fell?
The pots and pans were all out of dishes.
Come on, Dennis, let's hear the song you're going to do.
Okay.
Dennis, that's one of the most beautiful songs I've ever heard. I have to hand it to you, kid. You really have a wonderful voice.
Gee, thanks.
If you want me to, I'll phone Lauren Bacall and tell her.
If a man answers, tell him to get out of town.
Oh, stop, will you? Dennis, when I say nice things to you, I wish that you'd... Come in. Well, Butch and Joey. Come on in, fellas.
Hello, Mr. Benny.
Mary, Dennis, you know Butch and Joey of the Beverly Hills Beavers.
Oh, sure.
Hello, boys. Hello.
What are you fellas doing here today? There's no meeting, is there?
Oh, no, we just want to remind you we're having baseball practice tomorrow afternoon.
Oh, yes, I almost forgot.
Have you boys got a baseball team?
Uh-huh. And Mr. Benny is our pitcher.
Mr. Benny pitches for you?
Sure, if he was good enough for the New York Yankees, he's good enough for us.
Jack, did you tell?
Quiet, Mary. By the way, boys, have you been practicing for the show you're going to do next week?
Uh-huh.
What's this about a show?
Oh, I thought I told you, Mary. It's the cutest thing. Next week they're giving a play in the school auditorium to raise money to pay for their baseball uniforms.
Well, that's nice. What play are you going to do? Tom Sawyer or Robin Hood or...
No, we want to do something different, so we're going to put on one of Mr. Benny's radio programs.
Really?
Yes, Mary, and each one of the kids is going to play the part of a member of my cast.
Say, that should be cute. Who's going to play the part of Mr. Benny?
I am, Miss Livingston. I was selected because my eyes are robin's egg blue.
You almost needed an oil well there. Not quite as blue as mine, but they'll do, you know.
And we got a girl to play your part, Miss Livingston. She's 7 years old.
7 years old? Is she pretty?
Uh-huh. And she'll be even prettier when her front teeth come in.
Isn't that cute, Mary?
And Miss Livingston, we even got someone to play the part of your sister.
Say, they're really doing everybody. Who's playing the part of my sister Babe?
My brother Herman.
I helped them cast that part, you know.
Say, Joey, have you got kids to play Phil Harris and Dennis Day?
Uh-huh. And we got a real butterball for Don Wilson. Yeah, you ought to see the belly on him.
Well, fellow Beavers, we'll all be at the show next week, and we want to wish you a lot of luck.
Well, thanks, Mr. Benny. But we came over here to get some money.
Money?
Well, you're our treasurer.
Oh, yes.
We need $9 to get the programs printed and $5 for the tickets.
Oh. See, that's $14. Well, wait here, and I'll be back in a few minutes. I got to go down to the vault to get the money. Excuse me, Mary. Ah, here we are. Darn it, I always forget about that barbed wire.
Halt, who goes there, friend or foe?
Friend.
What's the password?
RAGGMOPP Ragtime.
Oh, it's you, Mr. Benny.
Yes. How are you, Ed?
Fine. What's new on the outside world?
Oh, nothing much, except that the country is thinking of admitting Hawaii and Alaska as states.
My, how exciting. That'll make 37, won't it?
No, Ed, it'll be 50. Well, excuse me, I want to take some money out.
Money out?
Yes. I may be down again tomorrow. You know, I'm having my house painted.
Oh, is there a house up there now?
Uh-huh. Now, excuse me, Ed, I want to open the safe.
Shall I take another loyalty oath?
No, Ed. Senator McCarthy hasn't mentioned you yet. Now, let's see. What's the combination? Right to 45. Left to 160. Back to 15. And left to 110. There. Now, let's see. I need $9 for the program. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There, that takes care of the programs. Now 5 for the tickets. I think I'll take it in silver. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, that's a pancake. Here's $1. There, that'll do.
Mr. Benny, you dropped one of the bills.
Oh, yes, I'll pick it up.
Look, you dropped another one. How come your hands are shaking like that?
I don't know, Ed, but it seems that whenever I count money, it makes me so nervous. So long, Ed.
Oh, my goodness, he took out $14 and went crazy.
Good night, folks.
The Lucky Strike program starring Jack Benny with Mary Livingston, Phil Harris, Rochester, Dennis Day, and yours truly, Don Wilson. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're a local subscriber to the weekly publication printed by the boys of the Beverly Hills Beavers, you know that tonight the members of the club are putting on a play at the school auditorium. Of course, Jack Benny, who happens to be the treasurer of the club, is planning to go. And at the moment, Rochester is pressing Jack's suit.
Press it once and press it twice, then press it once again. It's been a long, long time. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Well, I got the pants pressed. Now for the coat. What's this he's got in here? Well, a bag of rice. Oh, yes, Vice President Barclay's wedding. Mr. Benny wasn't invited, but that didn't stop him. He put on his tuxedo, went to the newsreel, and threw rice at the screen. I better finish pressing the coat before... What do you know? The price tag is still under the collar. $22.50. That isn't much to pay for a tuxedo. I wonder where he bought it. Should be on the label. Yeah, here it is. The Pep Boys. Oh, yes. In those days, there used to be
Rochester, have you finished pressing my clothes yet?
Yes, boss, but who was the last one you rented this tuxedo to?
Why?
Every time I lay the coat down, the arms fold.
Oh, stop, will you?
Anyway, you're only going to a school play. Why dress formal?
Rochester, the Beavers aren't putting on just a play. They're going to do their version of my radio program. You see, each one of the kids will portray a member of my cast.
Oh.
And since I'm the inspiration for their show, they may ask me to come up on the stage and make a speech. Gosh, I haven't made a speech since Vice President Barclay's wedding. And then I didn't get to finish it. The feature picture came on. Anyway, Rochester, this play the kids are putting on is... I'll get it. It's strange. There's no one here. Now, why would anybody ring a doorbell and then... That's funny. Nobody here this time, either.
Boss, put your glasses on. That door's to the closet.
Oh. I'll get it.
Want to bet?
Never mind. Oh, hello, Mary.
Hello, Jack. What took you so long to answer the door?
Nothing. Anyway, why are you here so early? We don't leave for the school auditorium for an hour yet.
Well, I couldn't find my coat, and I thought maybe I left it over here.
Your coat? I don't think so.
Did you look in the closet?
Oh, did he?
Your coat's not in there, Mary. Now, as soon as I get dressed, we'll go.
Here's your tuxedo, boss.
Help me on with the coat, Rochester. I want to see if it still fits. Thanks.
Jack, if you wear that old thing, I'm not going with you.
What?
You got that tuxedo when you first went into vaudeville. It's so old-fashioned now.
Old-fashioned?
Yes. Look how long the coat is.
What are you laughing at?
You look like the villain and the drunkard.
Only when I wear the cape. Now, Mary.
Ah, me proud beauty. If you don't pay the mortgage, I'll throw you and the baby out in the snow.
Mary, stop, will you please?
Well, look, Jack, I'll make you a proposition.
Huh?
If you'll buy a new tuxedo, I'll take you down to the May Company and get you a big discount.
Mary, you mean that after all these years you've been working for me, the May Company still gives you a discount?
They send me food, too.
Now, cut that out. I'm going to wear the tuxedo I've got, and that settles it. Now, Rochester, I won't be home. I'll get it. Hello?
Hiya, Jackson. I just called you to find out if I can cancel tomorrow's band rehearsal on account of... Don't crowd me, lady. I'll be off the phone in a minute.
Phil, where are you calling from?
The corner drugstore. I'm picking up some medicine for Remley.
What?
Well, that's why I want to cancel the rehearsal. Frankie's got an awful cold. Lady, stop crowding me.
What's the matter with Frankie anyway? He's always catching cold.
Yeah, he caught this last one sleeping next to an open window.
An open window? Well, why didn't he close it?
It wouldn't have done any good. He was on the outside of the house.
That's the silliest thing I ever heard, sleeping outside of the house. Why didn't he go in?
Wasn't his house.
What?
I told him 1,000,000 times, don't take them shortcuts. Don't crowd me, lady. I'm rolling.
Well, okay, Phil. You can have band rehearsal the next day.
I can't do that either, Jackson. That's why I'm trying to get Remley over his cold. You see, he's getting married that day.
Huh? Remley's getting married? Well, that's certainly news to me. Where's Frankie's wedding going to take place?
At the little bar around the corner.
Well, Phil, if I know Remley's friends, who's going to stand up for him? Don't crowd me, Mary. I'm rolling. Well, look, Phil, don't worry about the band rehearsal. You can have it any time. Goodbye.
So long. Oh, by the way, Jackson, did you get that record I sent you this morning?
Yes, Phil, but I haven't played it yet. What is it?
Well, it's a song called Wilhelmina. You see, it's from the picture I just made, Wabash Avenue.
Oh, well, I'll play it as soon as I...
Just a minute, Dad. What's that, lady? Oh, you just realized who I am, huh? Yeah, that's me. Well, just a minute. I'm giving the lady my autograph.
Oh.
Hey, Jackson.
Huh?
Can you hear me?
Yes. What is it?
Does sincerely start with a C?
Yes, Phil. C-I-N...
I got the rest of it. So long, Clyde.
Goodbye. Oh, Mary, Phil sent me a record that he made. Let's play it, will you?
Okay. Where is it?
Right there by the phonograph. And play it loud, Mary, so I can hear it in the other room while I'm getting dressed. Say, Mary, that was very good.
Oh, wait a minute, Jack. There's a little more on the record.
There is? Play it.
Good health to all from Rexall.
I knew he'd get that.
Say, Jack, don't you think it's about time we left for the school auditorium?
Yes, we haven't got much time. Rochester, get my car out of the garage.
You can't use the car, boss. A nail went through one of the tires.
Oh.
I told you not to buy such cheap tires.
Rochester, the most expensive tire in the world can be punctured by a nail.
A fingernail?
Well, what did you touch it for? Always testing. Now what are we going to do?
I've got my car outside.
Okay, Mary, we'll go in yours. Come on.
Bye, Rochester.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. Mary, wasn't that a nice song from Phil's picture?
Yeah. Wilhelmina, she's the cutest little girl in Copenhagen.
Jackie Benny, you've got the truest, bluest eyes in any noggin. In Waukegan. I tried to get Waukegan in there. I had a tough time.
Look, Jack, here comes Dennis on a bicycle.
Where?
Hello, Mary. Hello, Mr. Benny.
Oh, hello, kid. Say, we were just leaving for the school auditorium. Aren't you going to see the Beverly Hills Beavers put on their play?
Oh, sure, but it's such a nice night, I thought I'd ride over on my new bicycle.
Oh, is that a new one, Dennis?
Yeah, I won it last night on a quiz program.
On a quiz program? Gosh, you're really lucky.
Yeah.
Was it a hard question?
Oh, no, it was easy. The man pointed at me and said, would you pay $100 for this bicycle? I said yes, so I gave him the $100, and he gave me the bicycle.
Dennis.
I almost won a refrigerator, but I didn't have enough money.
Look, kid. Dennis, look at me, look. Did the master of ceremonies of this quiz program have a little hammer in his hand?
Yeah.
Dennis, you were at an auction.
Certainly. And all those people crowded around, they were bidding. Now, come on, we better get to the school auditorium.
Okay.
Oh, by the way, Dennis, did you ask your mother if you could go quail hunting with me again next week?
Yeah.
Dennis, I didn't know you go with Mr. Benny on his hunting trips.
Oh, sure. I'm his retriever.
You mean when he shoots, you bring back the quail?
No, when he misses, I have to bring back the buckshot.
All right. Now, Dennis, leave your bicycle here and come with us.
Okay.
Say, this school auditorium really is packed. But we got pretty good seats, haven't we, Mary?
Oh, these are fine. Right in the center.
Can you see all right, Dennis?
No.
Well, why don't you ask that man in front of you to take off his hat?
It isn't his.
What?
It's mine. I put it there.
Dennis, are you crazy? Why would you do a thing like that?
Bald heads upset me.
Oh, be quiet, will you?
Hey, Mr. Benny. Mr. Benny.
Oh, hello, Joey. Is everything ready backstage for your show?
Uh-huh.
Are the kids nervous?
Yeah, a little bit.
Well, good luck.
Thanks, Mr. Benny. And by the way, you'll be happy to know that we're almost sold out of the popcorn you made.
Good. Now, push the lemonade.
Okay. See you later.
Oh, just a minute, Joey. Did you finally get a fat kid to play Don Wilson?
No, but we're letting Warren do it, and we stuffed a pillow in his shirt.
Oh, fine. Now, you better hurry. You'll be late. Well, Mary, it won't be long now before the show starts.
Gee, I hope the Beavers really do a...
Hey, Mary.
Huh?
Don't look now, but there's a lady across the aisle who keeps staring at me. I guess she recognizes me.
Where?
Shh! Here she comes.
Pardon me, but would you be good enough to give me your autograph?
Why, certainly. There you are.
Thank you. You were wonderful in The Drunkard.
I told you not to wear that cape.
I'll take it off. You know, Mary, this idea of the little kids doing my radio program is really clever, isn't it?
Yes, Jack, I think it's the cutest. Oh, the curtain's going up.
Oh, yeah. And look, they've even got a kid orchestra.
Quiet. Here they go.
The Jack Benny Program, starring Jack Benny, with Mary Livingston, Phil Harris, Rochester, Dennis Day, and yours truly, Don Wilson. And now, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to bring to you the star of our show, a man who still has the first dollar he ever earned. Not because he's cheap, but because you can't spend Confederate money. And here he is, Jack Benny!
Thank you. Hello again. This is Jack Benny talking. And, Don, did you think up that introduction all by yourself?
Yes, I did, Jack, and I thought it was very funny.
Oh, you did, huh?
Yes.
Don, Blubber Boy. There's an old Chinese proverb that says, big fat announcer who make insulting joke about boss soon finds salary, not big fat. And another thing, Don. Oh, hello, Mary.
Hello, Jack. Hiya, Don.
Say, Mary, I called you last night, but your maid said you were out.
That's right. I went to the baseball game with Van Johnson.
Oh, that was nice. Who won?
When you're with Van Johnson, who watches the game?
Oh!
Stop ad-libbing.
Mary, what's this you dropped on the floor?
Oh, that's a letter I got from Mama.
Oh, from your mother, huh? What does the wild goose of Plainfield have to say?
I'll read it to you. My darling daughter Mary, just a few lines to let you know that we are all well. The weather is nice here now, but as you probably read in the paper, last week we had an awful blizzard. And when your Uncle Harry came in from the barn, his milking hand was frozen.
Gee.
I hope it thaws out soon, as we'd like to get the cow out of the house.
I don't blame them.
Now for a few words about your sister Babe.
Ah, this is the part I always wait for.
Quiet. Since your sister Babe got married, she decided to have her teeth straightened.
Babe's teeth do protrude a little.
I'll never forget the ceremony when the minister said, "Do you take this man to be your husband?" Babe opened her mouth to say, "I do," and ripped her veil to shreds.
Say, Mary, that little girl is a natural-born actress.
Yeah, she went right on reading the letter, even though her bloomers were slipping down.
Yeah.
No other news, so we'll close now. With love, your loving mother, Mama.
You know, Mary, your mother... Wow, look who's here.
Won't you come with me to Alabama? Let's go see my girl. That's what I call the South. Hiya, Jackson.
Hello, Phil.
Hello, Phil.
Hiya, Livy, you gorgeous hunk of whistle bait, you.
By the way, how are Alice and the children?
Oh, fine. I just left them. I took them over to the park for a rehearsal for next week's May party.
A May party?
Yeah, you should have seen all them kids. They looked so cute, they danced around me.
Danced around you? Didn't they have a maypole?
Yeah, but, I was prettier.
Oh, for heaven's sakes. Say, Phil, I've been trying to get in touch with you all week. Where have you been?
Well, me and Remley went hunting up in the high Sierras.
Oh, did you hunt bear?
Well, we... Wait a minute. Hey, Jackson.
Huh?
Throw me that lead again, will you?
Okay. Did you hunt bear?
No, we were dressed to kill. Oh, Harris, that joke alone ought to make CBS buy it.
Phil, Pencilhead. That joke alone ought to make CBS put in air conditioning. So you can stop with those... Come in.
Telegram for Jack Benny.
I'm Jack Benny. I'll take it.
Here you are, sir.
And here's a tip for you.
Oh, boy, a nickel. Now I can send my father through college.
Now let's see. I wonder who this telegram...
Oh, Jack.
What is it, Don?
Did you only give that boy a nickel tip?
Yes, Don. Why?
Well, that convinces me. You're without a doubt the cheapest, most miserly, most parsimonious man I have ever known in my life. Wow!
Now look, Don.
Don is right. You are cheap.
Mary, be quiet or you'll be known as Nylon Nellie at the May Company. And now, ladies and gentlemen, for our feature attraction tonight, we are going to
Hello, Mr. Benny. Hello, Mary. Hello, Dennis.
Hey, kid, I'm glad you got here because it's time for your... Wait a minute. Dennis, look at me. Huh? Dennis, this is the first time I ever saw you wearing glasses. Are your eyes bad?
No.
Then why are you wearing those glasses?
My uncle died and left them to me.
Your uncle? Oh, that's a shame.
Yeah, I can't see a darn thing with him.
Well, for heaven's sakes, kid, if you can't see with them, take them off. Just because somebody leaves you something in a will, you're not compelled to use it.
No?
No.
Want to buy a set of teeth?
Now cut that out. And take off those glasses. It's time for your song.
My mother said I shouldn't sing in her program anymore.
Why not?
She hates you.
What?
Dennis, why does your mother dislike Jack so much? She used to go with Mr. Benny before she met my father.
She did not.
She says she did.
What was your mother's name before she married your father?
I didn't know her then.
Dennis, I'm tired of your silly talk. Let's have your song.
Okay.
That was Dennis Day singing Clancy Lowered the Boom. And very good, too, Dennis.
That's right, Dennis. You have a beautiful voice. I know. That's why I have 2 shows.
All right. That kid drives me nuts. No wonder I'm gray, and I'm only 39. And now, ladies and gentlemen, for our feature attraction tonight, I'll get it. Hello?
Hello, Mr. Benny. This is Rochester.
What is it, Rochester?
Got some news for you. When I went shopping this morning, I put the car in the parking lot.
Uh-huh.
And when I came out of the market, there was a man standing there, and he wanted to buy your car.
He did? Well, I hope you told him my price was $1,000.
Uh-huh. But he told me that the used car market has dropped some of the last few days.
Oh, what did he offer you?
$750.
Oh, well, that isn't so bad.
You ought to see where the decimal point is.
What? $7.50 for my car?
Grab it fast, boss. I'm talking to the Irishman, and he ain't smiling.
Well, I don't care if he's smiling or not. Offering $7.50 for my car. Well, the steering wheel is worth more than that.
We ain't got one.
No steering wheel? Then how did you get it downtown?
Same old way. Lasso the Sunset bus.
Well, look, Rochester, you tell this fella that if he wants to buy my car, he can have it for $1,000 and not a cent less.
Okay, just a minute.
Imagine offering me $7.50 for my car. It's in wonderful condition. Still has the original rubber on the windshield wiper. I couldn't sell that.
Oh, boss.
Yes?
The man said he'd give you $9 for the card you throw in the lasso.
What?
$10.50 if you teach him how to use it.
Rochester, stop being on his side. You know as well as I do that the car's worth at least $1,000.
Oh, boss, come now.
All right. Well, tell the man I'm not selling it anyway, and come down to the studio and pick me up. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
I don't know. You try to put on a program and everybody interrupts you. Play, Phil.
Lemonade. Get your lemonade in the lobby.
Jack!
Oh, I'm sorry. We're a little late, folks. I want to thank all the kids of the Beverly Hills Beavers. Good night.
The Lucky Strike program starring Jack Benny with Mary Livingston, Phil Harris, Rochester, Dennis Day, and yours truly, Don Wilson. Ladies and gentlemen, in a couple of weeks now, Jack Benny will be traveling throughout the country on a personal appearance tour. So naturally, he feels that he should brush up on his violin. At the moment, Jack is home waiting for his violin teacher to arrive.
I can't understand it. Professor LeBlanc was supposed to be here an hour ago.
Boss, sit down and relax. He'll be here pretty soon.
Why can't he come on time? This is important, Rochester. I'll soon be out on a personal appearance tour, and I haven't played my violin in front of an audience since I was at the Palladium in London. I want to get my fingers back in shape.
Why? What did they do to him?
They didn't do anything to him. You know, you may not know it, but men like Heifetz and Isaac Stern put so much importance on the dexterity of their fingers that they massage them with creams and lotions, you know. That's because their livelihood depends on the nimbleness of their fingers.
I know what you mean, boss. My cousin goes through the same thing.
Oh, is your cousin a musician?
No, he's a milker at Ador.
A milker?
There's never a rough pull in my cousin.
Rochester, look, Rochester, I hired you as a butler. If I wanted to be entertained, I'd have gotten Georgie Jessel. Anyway, I can't understand. Oh, that must be the professor now. Well, Professor LeBlanc, I've been waiting for you.
Hello, Mr. Benny. I'm sorry that I am late.
That's all right. Have you had lunch?
I never eat before I give you a lesson.
Shall we go in the den?
Oui.
By the way, Professor, I had new hair put on my violin bow.
Is it good hair?
Oh, yes. The man at the music store said it won the Kentucky Derby twice.
Please, I am a violin teacher, not a straight man. Let us commence with the lesson.
Yes, Rochester, hand me my violin, will you?
Here you are, boss. Now give me a running start.
Professor, shall I start with the minuet?
Oui,
the minuet.
No, Monsieur Benny. I have told you so many times. It isn't that. Yeah? You must slide. Down. Oh. Perhaps it would be better if first you did some exercises.
Very well.
1 and 2 and 3 and 4. I wish I was in Singapore. Bend your wrist and slide your finger. Pull the switch, don't let me linger. That is enough, Monsieur Benny, that is enough. You may try the minuet again, and don't forget to slide.
Oh, yes. The bow flew out of my hand. Now, where did it go?
It is stuck in the ceiling.
Oh, yes.
I get it.
No, but Professor, you're too short. You can't reach it.
I was thinking of standing on your violin.
Never mind, I'll get it myself. Rochester, answer the door.
Yes, boss. Da da diddly da da diddly da da diddly da da dee da da. Even I sound smoother than he does. Coming.
Hello, Rochester.
Oh, hello, Miss Livingston. Come on in. Mr. Benny's in the den.
Is he reading?
Sacrébleu, c'est you, je suis un point l'instant.
Oh, he's taking a violin lesson.
Yeah, and you ought to hear him play. It sounds like he's plucking a live chicken.
Well, I came over to show Mr. Benny this new copy of Look magazine. His picture's on the cover. And so is yours, Rochester.
Mine?
Yes. I just got it at the corner newsstand. See?
Well, Zazu Zaz, ain't I cute?
You sure look sporty there, Rochester. Is that a cane you're holding?
No, that's the handle of a broom.
What?
As soon as the picture was taken, I had to get right back to work. That's all I do around here. Scrub the floor, do the laundry, wash the dishes, make the beds.
Well, Rochester, I know you work hard, but who else could Mr. Benny get to do it?
Georgie Jessel.
Well, I know Mr. Benny would like to see the magazine. I'm going to take it in to him. Jack. Evelyn.
Mary. Can't you see I'm in the middle of a lesson?
I know, Jack, but I thought you might like to see this.
Well, look, I'm on the cover of Look magazine.
I think it's an awfully good picture. Don't you, Professor?
On paper, he looks so harmless.
Well, that's because of my blue eyes. Underneath, I'm a regular Mickey Rooney.
And Jack, in the story about you, there's a line that says, Jack Benny is the greatest comedian the world has ever known.
It says that about me?
Yes. Jack, are you sure you haven't been down to the corner newsstand?
Why?
That line is written in pencil.
How do you like? I told Rochester to use ink. Now, Mary, would you mind waiting in the living room so I can finish my lesson?
Okay.
How did Mr. Berry like the picture?
Fine, Rochester, but he said he should have used ink.
Oh, you found out?
Yes. Well, what are you laughing at?
You should see what I did to the copies on Central Avenue.
What?
Down there, he's holding the broom.
Well, Rochester, I don't think that you... Oh, I'll get it. Oh, hello, Phil.
Hiya, Livy. What are you doing here in Fort Knox?
Oh, nothing in particular.
Where's Jackson?
He's in the den plucking a chicken.
Oh, taking a violin lesson, huh?
Yeah.
I'll see you around.
Oh, no, you don't. Come on in. Say, Phil, I noticed that new Cadillac sedan you drove up in. It's a beauty.
Yeah, it's Alice's.
Oh, then the maroon convertible is yours.
No, that's Alice's, too.
Oh, then that little English car with the right-hand drive.
Alice's.
Oh, for heaven's sakes, Phil. If she owns all those things, what have you got?
Alice. Well, Liv, I better go in the room. I want to see the old man a minute.
Phil, why don't you walk right in?
It's like going into a cold pool. You can't take it all at once. Well, here goes, Liv.
Professor, do you think... Oh, hello, Phil.
Hiya, cover boy.
Bonjour, Monsieur Harry.
Ah, Professor LeBlanc. Bon viec, tu par rig, pharmacie.
What does that mean?
Good health to all from Rexall.
Phil, I didn't know you could speak French.
Sure, Jackson, I know 2 sentences. That's one of them, and the other one always gets my face slapped.
Look, Phil, I'm taking a violin lesson. What do you want to see me about?
Oh, I want to talk to you about this personal appearance tour we're going to make. Now, look, I thought that in arranging the show, I'll open up with 20 or 30 courses if that's what I like about the South, and you come walking in
Phil,
slow.
hold it. Now, wait, that's one song you're not going to sing on the tour.
Now, wait a minute, Clyde. You're prejudiced against the song. Let's ask someone who's imperial.
That's impartial.
I don't care what it is. Hey, Professor LeBlanc, what do you think of That's What I Like About the South?
Mon don cochon et les lettrés tout de tout le monde.
Hey, ain't that a coincidence? That's the line that always gets my face slapped.
That's what I thought. Now, Phil, you better start rehearsing your musicians. You know, we play our first show in Pasadena on May 10th, and then we open in Wichita, Kansas, May 16th.
Kansas? That's a dry state, ain't it?
Well, not anymore.
Oh, good. I've got 2 trunks I thought I'd have to leave at the border.
Phil, B-A-R-R-M-O-P-P, bar mop. We're opening in Wichita on the 16th, regardless.
Okay, Jackson. See you later.
Monsieur Benny, please. I haven't got all day. Let us finish the lesson.
Okay. Oh, tell me, Professor, do you really think you can make a great violinist out of me?
Well, I think I can do something, but it will take time. How old are you?
Why?
How much time have we got left?
No. Well, look, Professor, if you don't feel that you're capable of teaching me the violin, why do you keep taking money from me?
I feel that in itself is an accomplishment.
Now, who's that in there playing the piano? Dennis! Dennis, I'm taking a violin lesson. Get away from that piano.
But, Mr. Benny, I want to rehearse the song I'm going to do on the program.
All right, go ahead. Come on. Dennis, that new song is swell. It'll be fine on the program. Now, Professor, let's get on
I'm
with...
going home now and catch up on some sleep.
What?
On account of daylight saving time, I had to get up at 1 o'clock in the morning and drive my mother downtown.
Why?
She had to change the big clock on Eastern Columbia Broadway at night. Personally, I'm all confused by this daylight saving time.
You what?
I'm all confused by this daylight saving time.
Dennis, don't worry about it. Lots of people here in Los Angeles are confused. But you know why we turn our clocks ahead, don't you?
Yeah, it'll give us an extra hour of smog. Oh, Mr. Benny, before I leave, would you like to buy a life insurance policy?
What?
I say, before I leave, would you like to buy a life insurance policy?
A life insurance policy?
Yeah, somebody sold it to me and I don't want it.
Look, kid, I don't know what kind of a policy you got, but why don't you want it?
Well, it doesn't pay off until I'm an old man.
Well, why do you want to sell it to me?
Well, you can collect on it now.
Dennis, go home, will you?
Okay.
Mr. Benny, please. Let us call the lesson fini.
No, Professor. I want to be perfect when I start my personal appearance tour.
This tour you are making, how many places will you appear in?
Oh, 21 different cities.
Oh, then that should take up to your entire summer.
No, Professor. I'm going to appear only one night in each city.
That I can understand. Now, come on, practice.
Okay, maybe I better try my theme song, huh? I think that'll be good, isn't it, sir?
Mr. Benny, please.
Oh, now, Professor, I'm sure that I've got my violin solo down pat for my stage show, but what do you think I should play for an encore?
Mr. Benny, I would not worry about an encore.
Huh?
Just take your money and go. Now, let us go back to the exercises.
Okay.
Oh, Jack!
Oh, for heaven's sake, what now?
Well, Jack, that fellow who stopped you on the street a few weeks ago is at the back door.
The fellow stopped me on the street. Oh, yes, that's the fellow who asked me for a dime, but I gave him 50 cents. Well, Mary, tell him I'll go talk to him. Excuse me, Professor. There's no business like show business like... Oh, hello there, Mr.
Savoni. John L. C. Savoni.
Oh, yes, I keep forgetting your name. Oh, what do you want?
Well, I haven't eaten all day, and I thought maybe you'd give me a meal.
Well, I'm sorry, Mr. Savoni, but I don't think we've got any food in the house right now.
That's funny. As I come up the walk, I heard someone plucking a chicken.
Now, wait a minute. I don't mind helping a fella out, but why don't you try earning some money? Have you ever thought about getting a job?
Oh, sure. Only this morning while I was shaving, the mirror said, "Hey, you." I said, "Who?" The mirror said, "You." I said, "Me?" The mirror said, "Yeah." Why don't you go out and get a job, you lazy, no-good loafer? Now, to me, those are fighting words. But I wasn't fool enough to start anything. The guy in the mirror had a razor in his hand.
Look, mister.
Then I realized, holy smoke, it was me.
Mr. Savoni, do you mean to say that you've never done any work?
Oh, once I had a job. I was an usher at the Burbank Theater for 2 years.
Well, why did you quit?
I didn't quit. My flashlight burned out and I got lost.
Oh.
But I'm glad I'm not there anymore. Every time the girls come on, it made me so nervous.
Well, Mr. Silvoni, here's some change. Go get yourself something to eat.
Gee, thanks, Mr. Benny. No wonder your picture is on the cover of Look magazine.
Oh, you saw it too?
Yeah. I would just hang around the corner drugstore. I just hang around. I wasn't doing anything. Just hang around. I didn't feel like doing anything. So I just hang around. All of a sudden, I look at the magazine counter and I said, holy smoke! Look at that picture. I know that guy. That's Jack Benny. He gave me 50 cents. The druggist said, what? I said, that's Jack Benny. He gave me 50 cents. And that's when it happened.
What happened?
All the bottles fell off the shelf.
Mr. Silvoni, I'm taking a violin lesson, so go get yourself something to eat.
Okay, goodbye, pal.
Gee, but he's a strange guy.
Mr. Benny, please, I haven't got all day.
Oh, yes. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank Frankie Fontaine, who played the part of Mr. Silvoni, and we'll be with you again next Sunday night at the same time. Meanwhile, come in.
Mr. Benny?
Yes?
Do you start your personal appearance tour in Pasadena?
Yes, that's right, Pasadena.
What night?
Wednesday night, May 10th.
Where's it going to be held?
In the Pasadena Civic Auditorium.
Thank you.
By the way, who are you?
I'm the fellow you hired to ask you these questions.
Oh, yes. Good night, sir.
The Lucky Strike program starring Jack Benny with Mary Livingston, Phil Harris, Rochester, Dennis Day, and yours truly, Don Wilson. Ladies and gentlemen, it isn't often that our star goes out on a personal appearance tour. But having decided to go, a lot of preparations have to be made. At the moment, Jack is in conference with Steve Bradley, his publicity man.
Yes, sir, Benny, this is the greatest idea I ever had. You just listen to me and we'll pack every theater from the sun-kissed shores of California to the rock-bound coasts of Maine.
But, Steve...
What an idea. Hand me that phone. I'll order the posters right now. We'll have billboards all over the country.
But, Steve... Look, I've never been billed that way before. Jack Benny, the platinum ball of fire. I mean, it's ridiculous. I've never worked with fans or balloons.
I'm way ahead of you, Benny. Now, instead of fans or balloons, you'll come out in a blue spot and do your stuff with 2 violins.
What?
At the end of the dance, the violins open and pigeons fly out.
Pigeons?
Certainly. We got to do something to take their attention away from those skinny legs of yours.
Now, look, Steve, I'm not going to go for any of your crazy... Excuse me, there's someone at the door. What a silly idea. Jack Benny, the platinum ball of fire.
Hello, Jack.
Oh, hello, Mary. Come on in.
Where's Rochester?
That's what I'd like to know. Last night he asked me if he could have the evening off. I haven't seen him since.
Well, Jack, maybe he... Steve Bradley.
Mary Livingston. Long time no see.
Mary, you know Steve Bradley?
Well, certainly. He was my publicity man when I worked at the May Company.
No.
Yes, sir. I gave this little girl one of the most extensive publicity campaigns in my career. In 2 short weeks, I raised her from the bargain basement to the stocking counter on the 5th floor.
Well.
And this, mind you, during the heat of a presidential campaign.
Oh, All right, calm down. I don't doubt that you're a great publicity man, but you'll have to think up another stunt for me. I'm not going to go for those pigeons.
What's that supposed to be?
I don't know. Steve's got some ideas about my personal appearance tour. He wants me to work with pigeons.
Well, I think that's a great idea.
What are you laughing at?
I could just see the finale. A pigeon swoops down, takes off your toupee, and lays an egg in it.
Mary, this is going to be a high-class show. Just wait till you see it. You know, we open Wednesday night in Pasadena. By the way, Steve, how are they doing at the box office?
Great. I had 50,000 tickets printed up, and I'm going to need another 50,000.
50,000? How do you expect to sell all those tickets?
Easy. On the face of the ticket, instead of printing Jack Benny, I put Rose Bowl game.
What?
They're going like hotcakes.
Well, Steve, we're not going to do our show at the Rose Bowl. We'll be at the Pasadena Civic Auditorium.
And I better book something into the Rose Bowl. It'll be jammed.
Now, look, Steve, are you working for me or... Mary, would you get that, please?
Okay. Hello?
Well, lucky me. Every time I get a wrong number, it's a dame.
Phil, it's me, Mary.
Okay. You're not a bad number either, Liv.
Well, thanks. Jack is busy right now. He'll call you back.
Well, look, Livy, I'm not at home. I'm at the photographer's. Steve Bradley called me this morning, told me he had an idea he was going to talk over with Jackson, but in the meantime, I should rush down and have publicity pictures taken. So tell Jackson to hurry. I can catch cold standing here like this.
What?
These pigeons ain't keeping me warm.
Okay, I'll tell him. Jack, Phil wants to talk to you.
All right, hand me the phone.
Here. If a pigeon answers, hangs up. Hangs up?
Instead of Pasadena, we should be playing in Czechoslovakia. Hello, Phil. What? Hello, Phil.
Mumbles Livingston's getting hard to follow, ain't you? Hey, Jackson, I want to talk to you about the band arrangement on that personal appearance tour. You got a minute?
Sure, what is it?
Well, look, how do you want my orchestra to dress, in blue suits or sport clothes?
Neither, Phil. I want them to wear evening clothes.
Look, Jackson, the only evening clothes they got are pajamas.
What?
And they can't wear those. Half the drawstrings are missing.
Look, Phil, let them wear whatever they want. But look at but have Sammy, now look, have Sammy the drummer in a blue suit because he'll be sitting up high.
Okay.
And Phil, when I'm out on the stage telling jokes, I want your boys to act as though they're enjoying it. It looks good to the audience.
Oh, all right, took care of that, Jackson. I even thought of the people in the balcony, so I painted a smile on the top of Sammy's head.
Oh, wonderful.
Another thing, Dad, we're going to have a little problem with Remley.
A problem?
Yeah, but everything will be all right if we let him sit behind the piano.
But, Phil, I want it to look like we got a big orchestra. Why shouldn't Frankie sit out in the open?
Because every time a spotlight shines in his face, he jumps up and yells, I didn't do it!
No.
The only way we can calm him down is to beat him with a rubber hose.
Phil, I'm busy. Arrange the orchestra the best way you can. So long.
So long, Clyde. Don't forget to bring the hose.
That Phil is the craziest guy.
Hey, Benny, while you was on the phone, I got a sensational idea.
Huh?
Oh, Nelly. Now, listen. When you get to Milwaukee, it'll be the start of Fire Prevention Week.
Yes.
So for a publicity stunt, we'll have you jump from the top of a 12-story building into a net. It's never been done before.
What do you mean it's never been done before? Many people have done stunts like that. Jumping off a building into a net.
A hairnet?
What?
Think of the publicity. Why, the paper will be full of it. Not only the story, but the pictures. Ah, I can see the flowers now.
Now cut that out! I want my publicity simple and dignified. Steve, is there any other idea you've got for publicity?
Just one.
What is it?
When we arrive in Kansas City, I want you to walk down the street playing your violin and lead 1,000 cows into the slaughterhouse.
Into the slaughterhouse? How do you know they'll follow me?
Follow you? They'll be pushing you.
Now, wait a minute.
Oh, Jack,
What?
when you go out to buy a wardrobe for your stage show, I'd like to go with you.
Wardrobe?
Well, certainly aren't you going to buy some new suits?
Mary, I just bought a new suit. In fact, you were with me.
Jack, that was in 1936.
Time flies. I haven't even started to wear the second pair of pants. But maybe you're right, Mary. This suit I'm wearing now is old enough to send to Fred Allen.
Hey, wait a minute, Benny. Wait a minute. You going to send that old suit to Fred Allen?
Yes, why?
That's a great human interest story, Benny. It'll be the biggest thing since that panhandler asked you for a dime and you gave him 50 cents.
Steve, don't mention that in this house. It's costing me a fortune in dishes. Now, look, Steve. Oh, for heaven's... Come in. Hello, Dennis.
Hello, Mr. Benny. Look out for these firecrackers.
Dennis. Dennis, what are you doing?
I'm celebrating the 4th of July.
4th of July? This is only the 7th of May.
It is?
Well, certainly.
Boy, this daylight saving time sure has me mixed up.
Look, kid, don't blame it on daylight saving time. You're always mixed up. What'd you come over for, anyway?
Oh, I come over to warn you about a new quiz program. It's a fake.
A new quiz program?
Uh-huh. I answered every question right, and they didn't even give me a refrigerator, appendix, or anything.
Well, what station is it on?
Oh, it isn't on the radio. These people ring your doorbell, come right into your house, and ask you questions.
Dennis, that was the census taker.
Census taker?
Sir, every 10 years, the government goes all over the country counting noses.
Why don't they just count people?
What?
Suppose somebody does have 2 noses. It won't throw them off much.
Look, kid, counting noses is just an expression.
Oh, hello, Mary. I didn't see you.
I know, I was hiding.
I don't blame you.
Neither do I.
Who's he?
This is Steve Bradley, my publicity man.
Oh, yeah. You know, my father does that kind of work for Universal Studios.
He does? I didn't know that.
Sure. Right now, he's publicizing a picture called Coca-Cola for Mark Anthony.
What?
It's a sequel to Champagne for Caesar.
Oh, yeah, it's a cycle now. They're working on a new one called Strongheart for Lassie. Now, Dennis, I got to go and buy some new clothes. Now, let's hear your song you're going to do on the program.
Okay.
And when you finish, I want you to... Wait a minute, kid. Hold it.
Well, what's the matter?
I just heard the back door open and close. It must be Rochester sneaking in. Oh, Rochester!
Yes, boss!
Is that you sneaking in the back door?
It ain't Georgie Jackson!
Rochester, come in here. I want to talk to you.
Yes, sir.
Now, Rochester, last night you asked me if you could have the evening off, didn't you?
Uh-huh.
Now, that was last night. Now, it's 11 o'clock the next morning.
Uh-huh.
Now, where have you been?
Well, boss, we're going away soon, and some friends of mine on Central Avenue gave me a farewell party.
Now, wait a minute, Rochester. Every night this week you've been to a farewell party.
It's the same one. We just adjourned during the daytime.
What?
When the gold of the day meets the blue of the night, I go where the wild goose goes.
Well, look, Rochester, I haven't got time to talk to you. Now, I got to listen to Dennis sing his song. Let's have it, kid.
Just a minute.
Dennis, give me that firecracker.
Okay, here you are.
Now, go ahead with you. Ow! Silly. Go ahead and sing. That was very good, Dennis. And now that you've used your beautiful voice to win yourself back into my favor, would you do something for me?
Oh, sure, Mr. Benny. What is it?
Go home.
Yes, sir.
Well, I gotta run along, Benny. See a man about those pigeons.
Look, Steve, you can forget it. I'm not going to do a striptease act with a bunch of pigeons.
Okay. I'll be at the office if you want me.
Jack, if you want me to go downtown with you to pick out a suit, we better go now.
Okay, Mary. Oh, Rochester, where's the car?
In the garage.
Well, come on, we want you to drive us downtown.
Yes, sir.
Jack, why don't don't you keep your garage cleaner?
I'll straighten it up someday. Come on, get in the car. Go ahead, start the car, Rochester.
Yes, sir, but first I gotta get a little water.
Oh, is the radiator dry?
No, I'm taking an aspirin. I know what's coming.
Never mind that. Just start the car.
Yes, sir.
It works every time. Try it again, Rochester.
Yes, sir.
There we are.
Say, Jack, there's something wrong here. Why is the car leaning way over to the left?
I don't know. Rochester, why are we leaning over to the left?
Remember last week when you sent the car to the garage to have the wheels aligned?
Yes?
Well, only 3 came home.
Starring Claudette Colbert. Stop being silly. How can a car run with a missing wheel?
I strapped a roller skate under the axle.
Well, slow down when you cross the car tracks. Well, here we are, Mary. There's the store across the street. Rochester, there's a parking space.
Where?
Between that truck and the convertible.
But I can't get into that space. It's too small.
Well, put our bumper up against the truck and push it.
Oh, boss, calm down.
Well, Miss Livingston and I'll get out here and you find a parking space.
Yes, sir.
Here's the store, Mary. Let's go in. Now, let's see. Where is the,
Hiya, bud. What's new?
Huh? Oh, hello. Hello. Come on, Mary. Let's get it.
Who was that?
That's that racetrack tout I'm always running into. Now, let's see. I wonder...
Oh, good afternoon. May I help you, sir?
Yes. I'd like to buy a new suit.
I don't blame you.
What?
I'm Mr. Kearns, and I'll be glad to show you our new spring line.
Good. But first tell me, what is the price range here?
Oh, our suits start at $25 and go up to $150.
Well, I wouldn't want to wear anything as cheap as $25, and yet I wouldn't want to go way up to $150.
I understand.
I'd like something in the middle, say about $30.
Oh, Jack, why don't you get a good suit for a change? After all, you're going to wear it on the stage every night.
Stage? Are you an actor?
Well, yes, I am. My name is Menashe Skolnick. I mean, Jack... Funny, I just happened to be thinking of him. I was reading. I'm Jack Benny. Now, Mr. Kearns, what color suit would you suggest that I get? Huh?
Well, now, a lot of men select a color to match their hair or their eyes. Let's see, your eyes are blue, aren't they?
Bluer than the lips of a schoolboy at 40 below.
Oh, Jack.
What is it, Mary?
Here's a very pretty suit. It's gabardine.
Oh, good. I like gabardine.
Oh, I'm sure that suit would look very nice on you, Mr. Benny.
Yes, but it's $45, huh?
Well, there's a whistle in the pocket.
Well, I don't care so much about that, but I think I'll take the suit.
Fine. I'll go upstairs and get our tailor so he can measure you for any alteration.
Thank you. Say, Mary, I'm going to walk to the back of the store, see if there's anything else I'd like. Want to join me?
No, I'm tired. I'll just wait right here.
Okay. There's no business like show business, like no business I know. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da, grease paint. Da-da-da-da-da-da, count the house. Da-da-da-da-da. Yep, that gabardine suit will look nice. $45, though. Oh, well. There's no people.
Hey, Bud. Bud.
Huh?
Come here a minute.
Who, me?
Yeah. What are you doing?
I'm buying a suit.
What kind?
Gabardine. What?
Get a wool suit.
Why should I get wool?
On account of the pants. They're great in the back stretch.
But I like gabardine.
Look, I'm telling you for your own good, get wool.
But...
Don't take my word for it. Look at the breeding.
The breeding?
It's out of Mary's Little Lamb by Baba Black Sheep.
Well, look, I'm going to buy a gabardine suit, and that settles it.
Okay, it's your dough.
What a guy. Whenever I run into him, I have that...
Oh, there you are, Mr. Benny.
Yes, I was just looking around.
Well, I'd like you to meet our tailor. Mr. Benny, this is Mr. Nelson.
How do you do?
How do you do? Now, I don't want to seem impatient, but I'm in a hurry. Can we get on with the measuring?
Why, certainly. Mr. Nelson, do you have your tape measure with you?
Yes. Now hold still, little man.
Little man?
You're buying the one with the whistle in the pocket, aren't you?
Look, Mr. Nelson, just take the measurements.
Very well. Collar, 16.
Collar, 16.
Shoulders, 18.
Shoulders, 18.
Chest. Well, how did it get way down there?
Never mind that.
Right sleeve, 34.
Right sleeve, 34.
Left sleeve, 21.
Left sleeve, 21.
You want people to see your wristwatch, don't you?
Well, stop wasting my time.
Oh, by the way, Mr. Benny, would you like wide or narrow cuffs on your trousers?
What's the difference?
Well, there really isn't much difference, but most people prefer the wide cuffs.
Why?
Well, haven't you had it happen that you accidentally drop a coin and it falls into the cuff of your pants?
No.
He always catches it before it hits the ground.
Yes. Now, Mr. Nelson, when will my suit be ready?
In 2 weeks.
2 weeks? But I wanted it for my personal appearance.
I'm sorry, but it'll take 2 weeks.
You mean I can't have my brand new suit for my opening in Pasadena?
No, but if you like, we'll run an ad in the paper telling them you bought one.
Well, I've had enough of this. I'm not going to buy the suit at all.
But, Jack, if you don't have a suit to wear, what are you going to do about your personal appearance in Pasadena?
I'll show you. Let me use that phone. Hello, Steve. Buy some corn. We're going to use those pigeons after all. Come on, Mary. Let's get out. I'm glad I didn't buy that suit from those smart aleck guys in that store.
Oh, Jack, forget it. Gee, I wonder where Rochester parked the car. I guess we'll have to walk clear around the block to find it.
No, we won't, Mary. Wait a minute. I got something here that'll bring Rochester right to us.
Jack, you didn't take...
Right out of the pocket. Those guys aren't going to push me around. Come on.
The Lucky Strike program starring Jack Benny with Mary Livingston, Phil Harris, Rochester, Dennis Day, and yours truly, Don Wilson. Ladies and gentlemen, today is Mother's Day. And in honor of that occasion, we would like to bring you a man who has been more than a mother to us. And here he is, Jack Benny.
Thank you. Hello again, this is Jack Benny talking, and Don, that was a very nice introduction. But I think you were being just a little bit overly sentimental there.
Oh, no, Jack, I meant every word of it. And you truly have been like a mother to our little group of thespians.
Oh, Don.
Don's right, Jackson. You've really looked out for us all these years.
Oh, gee, Phil.
We all agree on this, Jack. Dennis, hasn't Mr. Benny been like a mother to us?
Yeah, me he even spanks.
Dennis, I only did that once, and you deserved it. Imagine coming over to my house and throwing a dead cat in the living room.
You said you needed violin strings.
Never mind that. Now keep quiet.
Yes, Janice, you shouldn't act like that. After all, Mr. Benny has protected us like a brood of little chicks and sheltered us under his wing.
Don, I couldn't shelter you if I had a wing like a B-29. Believe me.
Look, Jackson, we're trying to say something nice, and you and Dennis are lousing up the mood.
We are?
Yes, Jack, maybe we've kidded you so often you don't realize how much you've helped us.
Oh, I realize I've been a great help to all of you. I know that when you came to me for sympathy, I gave it to you. And when you came to me for advice, I gave it to you. And when you came to me for money...
You gave us sympathy and advice.
Yes. I don't see any reason at all why I should give you extra money.
Who's talking about extra money? We want only what we got coming.
I can't understand you, kid. Just a little while ago you said I was a mother hen and you were my brood of little chicks. Now all of a sudden... Dennis, why are you staring at me?
It's the first time I ever saw a hen with glasses.
Now cut that out and let's get on with the program. For goodness sake, you start something on this show and before you know it... Come in.
Hi, Rube.
Jack, isn't that the man who painted your house?
You ought to know you brought him over. Look, Mr. Hawkins, I'm trying to do a radio program. What do you want?
I just dropped in to tell you that I saw your show the other night in Pasadena.
You did?
Yep, pretty good show. You ought to bring it out to Calabasas.
Calabasas?
It's a pretty big place. Right now, we got 422 people.
422 people?
There's a convention in town.
Well, who's there when there isn't a convention?
Me.
Just you?
When the sun ain't shining and there's no shadow, I'm a lonely boy.
Well, I'm sorry, Mr. Hawkins, but my itinerary is all set.
Well, okay. Just thought it would be nice to have some entertainment. So long, Rube.
So long. Yeah, I wonder why he always calls me Rube. All right, kids, let's get on with the show. Now, we've got a lot to do tonight.
Oh, before we start, Jack, that fellow who was just here reminded me of something.
What is it, Don?
I wanted to tell you that I also enjoyed your show in Pasadena.
Well, thanks. Thanks very much, Don.
Oh, it was great, Jack. And you certainly had a wonderful cast. You, Phil, Rochester, Vivian Blaine.
Don't forget Tabby.
Tabby? Who's Tabby?
The dead cat. He's Mr. Benny's A and G strings.
That's how much you know. The A string came off a total stranger. So don't be so smart.
Hey, Livy, how'd you like the way me and my orchestra stopped the show? Great, wasn't it?
You were very, very good, Phil, but there was one thing that puzzled me.
What was it, Liv?
Well, how come when the rest of the band was playing, that's what I like about the South, Frankie was playing Tiger Rag?
Well, Frankie's on strike. That's his way of picketing.
Oh, are the musicians on strike?
No, just Remley. He's mad at Jackson.
Why?
Oh, it's nothing. He's mad because I won't let him take his electric guitar on the tour. And I'm right, too. Whenever he has that thing on the stage, the whole band gathers around it.
Around his electric guitar? Why?
It makes ice cubes.
Yeah. And when he spins his guitar to be fancy, he's really mixing martinis, you know? Say, Phil, did you fix it up for Sammy the drummer to go on tour with us?
Yeah, I spoke to the board, and Sammy can leave the state provided he's in bed every night by 10.
And tell him to keep his shirt buttoned. Those numbers on his underwear look awful. And Phil, while I'm on the subject, it wouldn't hurt if some of your other musicians got to bed early, too. I'm sick and tired of you and your boys running around all night.
That's telling him, Mom.
Stop that, Dennis. Now, look, kid, it's time for your song. Now, what are you going to sing?
Well, I have something appropriate for Mother's Day.
Well, let's hear it.
Okay.
Hold it, Dennis. Come in. Yes?
Telegram for Jack Benny.
I'll take it, boy.
Hey,
Oh, just a minute. Here.
Gee, Mr. Benny, when you reached into your pocket, I expected a nickel or a dime, but I never expected this.
Well, what'd he give you?
Lint.
Get out of here.
Jack,
What?
who's the telegram from?
Just a minute. Ah, this is cute. It's from the boys of the Beverly Hills Beavers. Listen to this, Mary. Dear Mr. Benny, our treasurer and friend, we just had a meeting and decided to send this greeting to you that should fill you with glee. God bless you and keep you, Mother McCree. Gee, isn't that sweet?
Mr. Benny. Dennis, sing your song. Mr. Benny's crying.
Yes, ma'am.
That was Dennis Day singing Little Mother of Mine. And very good, Dennis.
I always sing good on Mother's Day.
Dennis, you sing good every day.
What have you got against Mother's Day?
Nothing. I think Mother's Day is the finest day of the year.
It's about time. It's been cloudy all week.
Oh, go sit down. And now, ladies and gentlemen, for our special surprise of the evening, I'd like you to meet a young lady whom you've seen many times on the screen and will be appearing with us on our tour, Miss Vivian Blaine.
Thank you, Jack. I'm awfully glad that you invited me over today.
Well, Vivian, the reason I asked you to come over is because, you know that scene we do in our stage show. You know where you're supposed to run your hand through my hair when I'm kissing you?
Uh-huh.
Well, it was awfully embarrassing in Pasadena.
What happened, Vivian?
Well, instead of my hand going through his hair, it went under it.
Your fingernails are so sharp.
Jack, why don't you let her do the kissing scene with Phil?
Mary, that's the way it was supposed to be. But after the first rehearsal, Vivian said she'd rather do the kissing scene with me. So, Mary, you don't have to look at her as though she has two heads.
Vivian, why don't you do the scene with Phil?
Well, every time we rehearsed it, it was the same thing. He'd slip his arms around me, snuggle up close, and whisper in my ear.
Gee, what'd he whisper?
Good health to all from Rexall.
Some romantic guy. I can show him a thing or two.
I'm sure you can, Jack. But when we do the love scene, I would like to make just one request.
Certainly, Vivian. What is it?
Well, I wish you'd just put your arms around me and let our lips meet in tender embrace.
Oh.
Don't grab me and pull yourself up by my earlobes.
I'll remember that. Come in. Oh, no. No. Come back some other time, Mr.
Savoni.
Look, Mr. Savoni, I'm trying to do a program. Look, what do you want to see me about?
Well, I need a little money. And I was wondering if you could help me out.
Now, wait a minute. I don't mind giving you a handout every once in a while, and I'll take you to a meal this time, too. But why? For heaven's sake, why don't you get yourself a job? Any kind of a job.
All I need is 10 cents so I can take a bus down to San Pedro. The man said for me to be on the bus by 6 o'clock.
To be on the bus or on the boat?
On the boat by 6 o'clock.
Well, that's different. You got yourself a job on a boat, eh?
No. I went on a quiz program and won 2 glorious weeks in Honolulu.
You won 2 glorious on a quiz program?
Mm-hmm.
I just can't believe it.
Well, I'll tell you how it happened anyway. I was walking down the street. I wasn't doing anything. Just walking down the street. I didn't feel like doing anything. So I just walked around the street and wasn't doing anything. While I was passing a radio station, a fellow in the uniform said, "Hey, you." I said, "Who?" He said, "You." I said, "Me?" He said, "Yeah." Would you like to be on the quiz program? While I was asking him if he could spare a dime for a cup of coffee, he takes me inside the studio, writes my name on a card, and sits me down. Ooh, I'm so nervous. Well, I'm just sitting there. I ain't doing anything. Just sitting there. All of a sudden, the master of ceremony says, "Our next contestant is Mr. Jornal Citavoni." I said, "Jornal Citavoni? Holy smoke, that's me!"
I can't look at him. I can't get over your winning 2 weeks in Honolulu. What was the question?
Well, he looked at me and said, "John, in geographical terminology, what is the parallel of the biological aspect of the vernal equinox?"
And you answered that question?
What a lucky guess!
Well, Mr. Savoni, here's the dime, and give my regards to Hilo Hattie.
Thanks, pal. Bye.
All right, Don. And now, kid.
Wait a minute, Jack.
Huh?
I've been thinking about that fella Savoni.
What about him?
Well, he always comes to you to help him out. Why don't you give him a job?
Well, I'd like to, Mary, but I don't need any extra help.
But, Jack, you could use him around the house as a caretaker.
Well, I've got Rochester for that.
Well, maybe you could use him as a gardener.
I've got Rochester for that, too.
Well, maybe you could use him as a night watchman.
He's got me for that.
Dennis.
I sit up on the roof with a machine gun.
Now, look, Dennis.
Get away from that lemonade stand.
Dennis, stop that! Anyway, Mary, why are you so anxious to get a job for Silvoni?
Well, Jack, of all the men I've ever seen, he's the only one that would be a perfect match for my sister Babe.
Your sister Babe? What makes you think that they're a perfect match? I mean, what has Babe got in common with Savoni?
Well, Babe just hangs around the house. She don't do anything. She just hangs around the house. I mean, she don't feel like doing anything. She just hangs around the house. She don't feel like doing anything.
All right, you can stop with that, too. Now, kids, I got a lot of packing to do, so let's get on with... Dennis, where are you going?
To answer the door.
Nobody knocked.
No, but with this kind of a show, anything can happen.
Say, Mary, can you drive me to the airport tomorrow?
Yes, I guess I can, but why doesn't Rochester do it?
Well, I sent Rochester on ahead to Kansas City. He's taking care of some advanced things for me.
Well, I thought your press agent, Steve Bradley, took care of those things.
No, I sent him to Milwaukee. In fact, I heard from him this morning. What a crazy publicity stunt he has cooked up now. He's nuts.
Why, what does he want you to do?
He wants me to be rolled into Milwaukee in a barrel of beer.
No.
Yeah. Then on the City Hall steps, they open the barrel, I jump out, and the mayor blows the foam off my head. I'm not going to do a silly thing like that.
Say, Mr. Benny.
Yes?
Answer the phone.
What? That kid is uncanny. Hello?
I have a long-distance call from Kansas City for Mr. Jack Benny.
Kansas City?
The charges are reversed. Will you accept the call?
Yes.
Do you want me to tell you whether 3 minutes are up?
No.
Look, jerk, get off the phone and put Jack Benny on.
I am jerk. Jack Benny. Now give me the call.
Okay, don't get your Irish up.
Me?
Here's your party.
Thanks. Hello?
Hello, Mr. Benny. This is Rochester.
Hello, Rochester. So you finally got to Kansas City, eh? How was the flight?
Fine, boss, fine. And believe me, everybody in Kansas City knows you're coming.
Good, good.
Yes, sir. Your name is on almost every billboard in town.
Almost.
It would have been on every one of them, but I ran out of chalk.
I told you to take 2 pieces.
I did.
Oh.
And, boss, I got a surprise for you.
A surprise?
Yeah, when you arrive in town, you'll be met by the mayor of Kansas City, the governor of Missouri, and all the important committees.
The governor and the mayor? How did you manage to do that?
I can't tell you on the phone, but if anybody calls you Harry, mumble something about Congress and keep moving.
Harry, gee, Rochester, you think I can get away with it?
I'm not worried about you, but I told him that Mr. Harris was the Secretary of State.
Secretary of State?
I hope they'll go for a curly-headed Atchison.
I knew you'd go too far. Now, look, Rochester, you stop at Wichita like I told you to.
Yes, boss. The Kansas Medical Society is holding a convention there, and 2,000 doctors will be over to see your show.
2,000 doctors in the audience?
Yeah, and you better be good. One of them has a long hypodermic needle.
I'll watch it. But, Rochester, there's only one thing that worries me. This business of being met by the governor and the mayor and me being called Harry. Do you think I can get away with it?
Pardon me.
Huh?
Your 3 minutes are up, Mr. President.
Oh, thank you. Goodbye, Rochester.
Goodbye.
Come on, Mary, I'll drive you home. Good night, folks. Happy Mother's Day.
Lucky Strike program starring Jack Benny with Mary Livingston, Phil Harris, Rochester, Dennis Day, and yours truly, Don Wilson. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Paul Hahn, president of the American Tobacco Company, the sponsors of this program, happens to be visiting the West Coast. So without further ado, we take you to Jack Benny's home in Beverly Hills, where Jack is preparing to give a dinner party in Mr. Hahn's honor.
Hold your head still, boss. It's hard to cut your hair when you move like that.
Okay, but be careful, Rochester, and hurry. I want this finished before Mr. Hahn gets here.
I'm doing the best I can, boss.
The best you can. You started to give me this haircut 40 minutes ago. You haven't even got the sides done.
Well, when I get to Death Valley on top, I'll go faster.
And you can stop with that, too. I may have one little bald spot up there about the size of a quarter.
I'll raise you a half.
Never mind. Anyway, when you finish cutting my hair, I want you to massage some of that new hair restorer into my scalp, you know?
I'd rather not massage you with that stuff, boss. It backfires.
What do you mean it backfires?
Well, it doesn't do you any good, but I have to shave my fingers twice a day.
Oh, stop making things up.
I'm not making things up. Look, my thumb's got 5 o'clock shadow.
Gee, and I thought that you... Come in. Oh, hello, Mary.
Well, what's going on here?
Rochester's giving me a haircut. I'll be with you in a minute.
Oh, for heaven's sake, Jack, why do you let Rochester cut your hair? You can go to the barber shop and have it cut for $1.
Miss Livingston, you just started and lost your own argument.
Mary, Rochester's doing all right, and help me a little bit in the house. I want everything to be right when my sponsor, Mr. Hahn, gets here.
Jack, I know you're worried about your option, but aren't you going too far?
Huh?
Where in the world did you get mistletoe this time of the year? And look at that picture over the fireplace. It used to be Lady Godiva. Now it's Paul Hahn.
Mary, will you please... Ooh! Rochester, be careful with that razor.
Okay. Where's the iodine?
Iodine? Rochester, am I bleeding?
I'll tighten your necktie. That'll stop it.
Just put a Band-Aid on it. And hurry up with this, will you? Do you think... Answer the door, will you, Rochester?
That's the telephone.
All right. Answer.
Oh, Jack, don't be so nervous.
Hello? Who? Yes, sir, I'll tell him. Goodbye.
Rochester, who was that?
Mr. Ronald Coleman.
Ronald Coleman? What did he want?
He said he'd like to help you impress your sponsor, but he's going out tonight, so he can't park his Cadillac in your driveway.
Say, Jack, if you really want to impress Mr. Hahn, why didn't you invite Ronnie and Benita to your party?
I did, Mary. I called Ronnie on the phone this morning.
Well, what'd he say?
He said, oh, never mind.
But come on, Jack. What'd Ronnie tell you?
Well, he said, never mind. Anyway, I'll fool him. I'll live to be 100. Say, Mary, how does my haircut look?
Well, let me see.
What are you laughing at?
Look how Rochester trimmed your sideburns.
What's the matter with him?
You look like Sterling Holloway on one side and Cesar Romero on the other.
Rochester, take that razor and even them up. I want to look... Gee, I hope that isn't Mr. Hahn already. Come in. Oh, hello, Don.
Hello, Jack. How are you, Mary?
Fine, Don.
Sit down, Mr. Wilson.
Thanks.
Oh, by the way, Rochester, we'll have cocktails before dinner.
Martinis or Manhattans?
No, I'd like to have something different. I've got it. We'll have Scotch Mist.
Scotch Mist?
Yes. You see, you pour Scotch over chipped ice. See, that's a Scotch Mist.
Oh, I thought it was when Phil breathes on you.
No, Mary. When Phil breathes on you, it's a bourbon blockbuster. See, I wish Don and the rest of the gang would get here.
Don's already here. You just said hello to him.
Oh, yes. Sit down, Don.
I am sitting down.
Oh, that's right.
My goodness, Jack, you're so nervous today. I wouldn't worry about that option if I were you.
Who's worried?
Well, Jack, I'm sure Mr. Hahn will sign you up.
Don, that's not the reason I invited him over here. Who cares about my job? There are other things besides radio.
With that haircut, you could go into television.
What?
Even Kinescope couldn't louse that up.
Oh, forget my haircut. And Rochester...
Yes, boss?
Don't stand around here. Go out in the kitchen and make a tray of hors d'oeuvres.
Hors d'oeuvres? What do you mean?
Get a ham sandwich and cut it in 40 pieces. And open a can of sardines, too.
Yes, sir. Say, boss.
What?
We're all out of butter. You want me to go down to the store and get some?
Well, maybe... Answer the phone, Mary.
Okay. Hello? Yes? Oh, Mr. Hahn.
Mr. Hahn, give me that phone. Hello? Hello, Mr. Hahn. This is Jack Benny. What? What's that?
Oh, take it easy, Jack. He can hear you.
Quiet, Mary. Oh, no, Mr. Hahn. The party is tonight. Well, look. Can't you go to the theater tomorrow night? Or the next night? I mean, the next night? Gee, Mr. Hahn, I've invited the whole cast for dinner. They'll be awfully disappointed.
What about the butter?
Wait, we may not need it. Well, look, Mr. Hahn, we're all waiting for you, so do come over. You will? Oh, boy, that's swell.
Tell him to come early and get a haircut.
Come early, Mr. Hahn, and get... Mary! Okay, Mr. Hahn, see you soon. Yes, sir, you're always welcome at Benny's Bide-A-Wee Bungalow. Well, goodbye. Boy, was I worried for a minute. Answer the door, will you, Mary? That's probably Don.
But, Jack, I'm right here.
Oh, yes. I'll go see who it is. Oh, hello, Dennis.
Where'd you get that haircut?
Rochester gave it to me. Come on in, kid.
Oh, gee, I'm late. You've eaten already.
What?
There's catsup on your face.
Rochester!
Tighten your necktie!
Dennis, come in, will you?
Okay.
Now, look, Dennis, against my better judgment, I invited you tonight. I hope you'll behave yourself because we're having my sponsor for dinner.
You promised us roast beef.
Look, kid. Look, the only thing I want you to do when Mr. Hahn gets here is to sing for him. Don't talk, just sing. Now, my option is coming up. I don't want anything to happen.
All right, so if he doesn't pick up your option, you haven't got anything to worry about.
What?
I can use you on my show, kid.
Dennis.
That haircut'll get screams.
Look, Mary, I'm bleeding. Take him away, will you?
Dennis, now remember what Mr. Benny told you. When Jack's sponsor gets here, don't talk, just sing.
Okay, you want me to try out something now?
Yeah, try anything. Rochester, get me a Band-Aid. Why doesn't Don get here?
He is here.
Oh, yes. Sing, Don. I mean, Dennis. I don't know where I am. Dennis, that was a swell song, and when you sing it for Mr. Hahn, I'm sure he'll like it. But remember what I told you. Don't talk.
Don't talk. You drive a guy nuts.
What?
You're nothing but a jellyfish. If you had a good program, you wouldn't have to worry about your sponsor.
Dennis.
Boy, are you lucky you've got me. If it weren't for my singing, you'd have been out of work a long time ago. And another thing, Excuse me a minute. Hello? What else should I tell him, Mother?
Dennis, hang up that phone and behave yourself.
Yes, sir.
Now, Mary.
Yes, Jack?
I want you to help me as much as you can.
I will.
Thanks. Now, there's one thing I wanted to ask. Oh, yes. Mary, when we go into dinner, should I have Mr. Hahn sit on my right or my left?
Well, that all depends on whether you want him to think you're Sterling Holloway or Cesar Romero.
Mary, I thought you said you were going to...
Look at me, I'm the barber of Seville. Figaro.
Dennis! Put down those scissors and get out of that chair. What do you think this is, a barber shop?
That ain't the North Pole in the front yard.
Rochester, just make the hors d'oeuvres and stop with all... Oh, that must be Don.
Don's here.
Oh, yes. Come in.
Hiya, Jackson. Hello, Livy.
Hello, Phil.
Hey, I'd have been here earlier, Jackson, but something went wrong with my car, and I had to ride over on the bus.
That's all right, Phil. Mr. Hahn hasn't... Wait a minute. Phil, you came all the way over here on the bus with that in your hand?
With what in my... Well, how do you like that? I put on a glove that was holding a scotch and soda.
That could only happen to you.
Phil, why didn't you bring Alice with you?
Yes, but I told you to bring her along.
Well, Alice wasn't very hungry, so she went to Brown Derby.
Why'd she do that?
Well, there she can order a la carte. Here she has to take the whole dinner.
Phil, that's ridiculous. Tonight the dinner's on me.
If his option is picked up.
Mary, my option has nothing to do with it.
Hey, Jack, how soon are we going to have dinner? You know I have to go... Oh, no. Oh, no.
Phil, what are you laughing at?
Your hair. It looks like it was cut by two barbers who weren't speaking to each other.
Phil, don't try to be funny. And that reminds me, there's something I want to talk to you about.
Me?
Yes. Now, look, when Mr. Hahn gets here, don't start telling any of those corny gags of yours. Believe me, he won't like them.
Can I tell the one about the old maid that set the bear trap under the bed?
No. Especially not that one. And remember, now, I want everybody to be on their best behavior.
Oh, don't worry, Jack.
Now, look, I don't want you overdoing it either. Act natural. Don't be nervous, just because Mr. Hahn is the sponsor and he's... Yikes! That's him now. Stand at attention, everybody. Sit down. Rochester, answer the door, will you?
Yes, sir.
Pardon me, does Jack Benny live here?
Yes, sir. Come right in.
Oh, look, it's Mr. Paul Hahn. A 1, a 2. For he's a jolly good fellow, for he's a jolly good fellow, for he's a jolly good fellow, and he's our sponsor too.
And he's our sponsor too.
Damn it!
He's our sponsor.
Come right in, Mr. Hahn. Come right in.
Thank you. That was quite a reception you gave me.
Yes. Your coat, Mr. Hahn? Your coat. May I help you with your coat? Whoops, I should have waited till you unbuttoned it. Mr. Hahn, you know everybody.
Of course. Glad to see you all.
Glad to see you, Mr. Hahn.
Well, we might as well go in the living room. This way, Mr. Hahn.
Thank you. Hey, this is a lovely home you have here, Jack.
Well, I'm glad you like it. It's nearly paid for, too. About another year ought to do it. Yep. Yes, sir. Now, before we have dinner, Mr. Hahn, perhaps you'd like some punch.
Don't mind if I do.
Give me your cup. I'll dip some up for you. Whoops. Dropped your cup in the punch bowl. That's silly of me. Now what'll I do?
Anybody got a rubber glove?
Mary. You know, Mr. Hahn, Mary always has to be the comedian. She never lets up.
Yes, she's a very clever girl. Incidentally, Miss Livingston, I want to tell you how much my wife and I enjoy you on the program.
Well, thank you, Mr. Hahn.
You not only have a lovely singing voice, but where did you learn to yodel like that?
Yodel?
Mr. Hahn, you're thinking of Judy Canova.
Oh, yes. I'm terribly sorry, Miss Livingston.
Well, that's all right, Mr. Hahn. Forget it. Anyone can make a mistake, I always say. Huh, Mary? Huh?
Oh, shut up.
Yes, sir.
Well, I see you have my picture right over the fireplace.
Yes, sir. It's been up there for months. It's a wonderful picture of Mr. Hahn, isn't it, kids?
I liked him better when he was sitting on the white horse.
Dennis.
Side saddle yet.
Dennis, I told you, don't talk. Just sing.
Hey, Paul, you better lap up some of this punch.
Paul?
Thanks, Phil. This time I'll get it myself.
Yeah, it's good stuff. It's called Mission Punch. Once swallowed, you fly back to Capistrano. Oh, Harris, thank goodness for daylight saving time. Now people can see you 1 hour longer.
Mr. Hahn, I must apologize for Phil. He's very corny.
Oh, on the contrary. I think Phil has a great sense of humor.
Oh, he has. And he's so sophisticated. You know, Mr. Hahn, sometimes Phil has me in stitches, you know?
Yeah, me too.
Hey, Paul, did you hear one about the old maid that put a bear trap under her bed and caught a bear?
Oh, Phil, that's a pip. I was hoping you'd tell that one. You know, Mr. Hahn, he's a riot.
He certainly is.
Say, Jack.
What?
If the boss likes that kind of stuff, you got nothing to worry about.
Quiet, Mary. You know, Mr. Hahn. Dennis, stop standing on your head. Nobody's looking at You know, Mr. Hahn, one thing about this gang, there's no jealousy or friction here. We've been one happy little family under the same sponsor for 7 years. I mean, 6 years. I was thinking of next year. Yes, sir.
Jack's right, Mr. Hahn. We do have a good time together, and we really enjoy our work.
Well, you always sound like it, too. And now that you're on the subject, Jack, I'd like to tell you how good your shows have been this year.
Oh, well, that's very kind of you, Mr. Hahn. Of course, they could have been much funnier.
Then why weren't they?
Well, I Mary, say something.
Ole, ole,
Mary, look, Mr. Hahn, what I really need...
Hey, kids, he's stuck for an answer. 1, 2.
For he's a jolly good fellow, for he's a jolly good fellow, for he's a jolly good fellow, and he's our sponsor, too.
And he's our sponsor, too.
Janet!
Stop that.
Dinner is served. There's a lot this time, folks, so don't run.
Oh, boy. Mary, you go with Mr. Hahn. Come on, everybody. Dinner is served. Mr. Hahn, will you have another shrimp cocktail? Olive? Celery? Pickle?
No, thank you, Jack. Think I'll just wait for the next course.
Oh, by the way, Mr. Hahn, I've been thinking, it's so silly of you to stay at a hotel while you're in town. I have an extra room, and you could just as well stay at my house. Isn't that right, kid?
Why not? He could put it on his expense account.
Phil, I wouldn't think of charging Mr. Hahn. After all, he's my boss, and I hope he will be for a long time. Yes, sir.
I've got a lovely bunch of olives. Some are green and some are black and blue.
Dennis, what are you doing?
You told me to sing.
Look, kid, I meant that...
Okay, everybody, here's the soup.
Oh, boy, soup.
Wait a minute, Rochester. Serve Mr. Hahn first. As a matter of fact, since I'm the host, I'll serve him myself. Rochester, I'll take the soup tureen. You put the other things on the table.
But, boss...
Don't argue. Give me the soup tureen.
Okay, here.
Ow! It's hot! Whoop! Oh, my goodness.
Jack, you spilled the soup on Mr. Hahn.
We're poor little sheep who have lost our God.
Dennis, shut up. Forgive me, Mr. Hahn. I'm terribly sorry I spilled the soup on you.
Oh, that's all right. This suit's ruined anyway. While I was walking over here, I tore a hole in the knee when I slipped on some rose petals.
Oh. Well, come on, everybody. Loosen your belts. There's plenty of food on the table. Here, Mr. Hahn, have some options. Have some potatoes. Here you are.
Thanks. You know, Jack, it's amazing how much you look like Eddie Cantor.
Eddie Cantor?
Jackson, loosen your tie. Your eyes are popping out.
Oh, yes. There, that's better.
No, it isn't. You're bleeding again.
Mary, stop mixing me up, will you?
My, but you're jittery today, Jack. I've never seen you act this way before.
Well, I haven't been feeling very well, and...
Look, Paul, I'll give you the whole thing in a nutshell. Jackson's worried about...
Phil, I'll handle it. You just mind your own business.
Jack, may I have a word with you?
Uh-huh.
I know that a home's not the proper place to talk business, but...
Oh, that's all right. That's all right, Mr. Hahn. It's quite all right to discuss it in my home. Go ahead.
Well, I've something on my mind, and I think a man should know where he stands.
Stand?
Now, mind you, this is not a rash decision. We've had several meetings concerning your radio programs for the past season.
Look, I can make them funnier, Mr. Hahn. Really, honestly, I can. Now, look, Mr. Hahn, look, you, how can you do this to me? I'm not as young as I used to be. I'm 39. Look, Mr. Hahn, think it over, please. Please, Mr. Hahn, please, think it over.
Jack, there's nothing to think over. He's picking up your option.
It isn't just for myself. What?
I said we're picking up your option.
You're picking up my... Wait a minute, Mr. Hahn. How do you know I'm available?
But Jack...
We'll talk about it tomorrow. And in the agency, not in my home. Come on, kids, let's eat. We're a little late, so good night, folks.
Lucky Strike program starring Jack Benny with Mary Livingston, Phil Harris, Rochester, Dennis Day, and yours truly, Don Wilson. Ladies and gentlemen, right now, our little star is traveling throughout the country on a personal appearance tour. Tonight, he's in Cleveland, Ohio. So let us take you to the Civic Auditorium to Jack's dressing room.
Rochester.
Just a minute, boss. I'm putting a star on your dressing room door.
Oh, good.
Yes, sir. When people look at this door, they'll not only know that you're the star of this show, but that you also come from California.
They will?
Yeah, I made the star out of an orange peel.
Stop being silly, making a star out of an orange peel. Come on in here.
Just a minute. Wait till I light the smudge pot.
Never mind. I'll come in here and straighten out my clothes.
Yes, sir.
By the way, did you clean the suit I wore in the last show?
You mean the one with the rose in the lapel?
That's not a rose. While I was playing my violin, some smart aleck hit me with a tomato. You know, Rochester, talking about tomatoes and oranges has made me hungry for some fruit.
Well, let's wait and see what the next show brings.
Yeah, it's silly to buy it when people are so generous, isn't it? Now, Rochester, straighten up my dressing room table so that I can come in.
Mr. Benny?
Yes?
My name is Kearns. I'm a reporter on one of the local papers.
Oh, how do you do, Mr. Kearns?
How do you do? Now, Mr. Benny, would you mind giving me some information about your personal appearance tour? That is, where do you go from here?
Well, tomorrow night we'll be in Pittsburgh, Tuesday Buffalo, Wednesday Toronto, Thursday Syracuse, Friday Montreal, Saturday Boston, and next Sunday, June 4th, at Carnegie Hall in New York City for the Damon Runyon Fund. And our last day, June 5th, is in Scranton, Pennsylvania. And then we sail for London to play the Palladium Theater.
Well, you certainly have a heavy schedule with your radio program and all.
Oh, no. You see, today I do my last program of the season.
Oh, I didn't know that. You know, I'm one of your regular listeners, and I'll certainly miss you during the summer.
Well, thank you.
In fact, I'll miss your whole gang.
Well, they'll be very happy to hear that.
Say, Mr. Benny, I just got an idea that would make a very interesting story for my paper. Your cast has been with you for such a long time. I'm sure my readers would like to know how you first met each one of them.
Well, let's start with Mary. She joined me on the radio about 3 months after I got started. I was in Los Angeles at the time, almost 18 years ago. I happened to step into the May Company. As a matter of fact, I bought this shirt I'm wearing. They give guarantees, you know. Anyway, it was in the latter part of 1932. I had purchased my shirt. I gave the man $1 and was waiting for my change. I don't know why they always have to go upstairs to get the change. Oh, well. Just a gigolo everywhere I go. People know the part I'm playing. Gee, that's a catchy new tune. Dum-da-da-da-dum-dum. Hey, look at that beautiful girl behind the hosiery counter. What a chicken. I think she's looking at me, too. After I get my change, I'll go over and try to date her up.
Say, Mary. What is it, Tallulah? Look at that guy over there. He's staring at you. Where? Right over there at the shirt counter. Say, he looks kind of prosperous, don't he?
How can you tell? With those bell-bottom pants, he might be barefoot. Look at him. He's winking at us.
Yeah. And get a load of that straw hat he's wearing with the bright red ribbon on it.
Yeah. And look what it says on it, the Waukegan Kid.
Hey, Tallulah, he's tipping his hat at us. Yeah, he's got the string in his pocket.
Oh, wait a minute. He's coming over here.
You want me to take him, Mary?
No, I can handle him.
Just a gigolo everywhere I go. People know the part I'm playing.
Look, he's walking like Theda Barra.
Yeah.
Just a gigolo every... Hello, kiddo. Where have you been all my life?
Avoiding it.
Hey, you're sharp. I like tomatoes with a little spice. Say, baby, what's your name?
Mary.
Mary what? Quite contrary?
Oh, brother, is this guy corny?
What was that?
Look, my name is Mary Livingston. I was born in Plainfield, New Jersey. I know I should be in pictures, but I'm happy here at the May Company. And they think I'm a very good sales girl. Now, what do you want?
Wait a minute. Take it easy. You got me wrong, baby. Don't you know who I am?
No, thrill me.
Well, take a grip on the counter, baby, because I'm going to enlighten you. I happen to be Jack Benny.
Well, what do you know? Hey, Tallulah, he's Jack Benny.
Who's Jack Benny?
I don't know. Ask him.
Oh, you're kidding. You know who I am. You ought to go out with me. I've been on the radio 3 months.
So what? My lamp's been on the radio 3 years, and I won't go out with that either.
Your lamp? Say, you're pretty fast on the trigger. What are you doing working here in the department store? You know, you should be on the radio.
What did I tell you, Tallulah? I knew it was coming.
What?
My mother told me there'd be men like you, but I thought they'd be much younger.
Say, you're terrific. Listen, baby, you got everything it takes. Good looks, a nice speaking voice, and what a personality.
I'll bet you tell that to all the girls.
No, I don't. Now, listen, Mary, you ought to be on the radio with me. I'll get you places. You'll be a big star.
Say, you're not kidding, are you?
Of course not. Look, why don't you meet me tonight for dinner, and we'll talk things over. It was about 14 years ago. One evening, Mary and I were taking a walk down Figueroa Street. Say, Mary, we've walked quite a ways. Say, before we catch the bus back home again, would you like to step into this nightclub and relax a little?
What nightclub?
This place right here. They got a band and everything. Now look at that poster on the wall. Phil Harris and the sweetest music this side of the Hyperion Outfall.
Phil Harris? I never heard of him. And what a nightclub. This is an awful joint. I don't want to go here.
Well, look, Mary, I'm looking for an orchestra leader for my program. Maybe this guy'll be the one. Come on, let's go.
But, Jack, it's way down those stairs.
What's the difference? Let's go down anyway. And watch your step, will you? Let's rest. If I go down any farther, I'll get the bends.
I think we hit bottom, Jack. Here's the door.
Oh, yes. Well, that guy Harris, hey, he knows all the new tunes.
Yeah, but how can people dance on that bare ground?
Well, they probably sprinkle it with water to make it slippery, you know. And it helps keep the dust down, too. Let's find a table.
Well, maybe that man will get us one.
Oh, yes. Pardon me, are you the waiter?
Well, what do you think I am with this napkin over my arm? A new father?
Oh, I'm sorry, but you're dressed too nice to be working in a joint like this.
Oh, you mean these striped pants and this Prince Albert coat?
Yeah.
Well, you see, I wear these clothes on my other job.
Other job?
Yes, I'm an undertaker's assistant.
Oh.
It was my idea to put the candles on the table. And now, would you like to have me find a table and lay you out? I mean, seat you?
Yes, please. Come on, Mary.
Here you are.
Now, what would you like to eat?
Nothing, thank you. We just came in to hear the band.
Well, you might as well order something. There's a 35-cent minimum.
35 cents? Well, I'll have a chicken sandwich and a combination salad.
And I'll have a steak sandwich and French fried potatoes.
Anything to drink?
No.
You might as well. You've got 15 cents to go.
Well, bring us coffee. Imagine that waiter, an undertaker's assistant.
Jack, look. The show's about to start.
Good. I'm anxious to hear this guy, Phil Harris.
Hiya, folks, and welcome to our little club. This is your orchestra leader and master of ceremonies, the one and only Phil Harris. Are you glad to see me? Well, we've got a nice crowd here tonight.
Mary, he has a swell personality.
We'll see.
And speaking of crowd, folks, a funny thing happened to me on the way to the club today. A guy walked up to me and said, "Hey, Harris, where'd you get the black eye?" So I told him it was a birthmark, and he said, "A birthmark?" And I said, "Yeah, I got in the wrong birth." No, lady, don't explain it to him. If he don't get it, just let him suffer. Let him lay there.
Hey, Mary, did you get it?
I got it all over me.
Quiet. He's good.
Hey, here's another one, folks. This'll embalm you.
Embalm you.
Did somebody call for me?
Quiet. He's going to tell another joke.
Hey, get this, folks.
Sing, you bum!
There's been a request that I sing. So now I'm going to do a little number that I wrote myself. It's entitled, That's What I Like About the South. Won't you come with me to Alabama? Let's go see my dear old mammy. She's frying eggs and broiling hammy. That's what I like about the South. Well, folks, that concludes our first show. But don't go away. We have another complete new show in 5 minutes.
Say, Mary, this guy is terrific. He'd be great on the radio. He's got something new, something different.
Oh, you say that every time you see a man with hair.
Look, I don't care what you think. I'm going to get him over here. Hey, waiter!
Yes?
Will you please bring the orchestra leader over to my table?
I'm sorry. He doesn't come with the 35-cent dinner.
Never mind the wisecracks. Bring him over here.
All right.
I don't know, Mary, but this guy Harris really has a great... Wait a minute. Here comes Phil Harris.
Hey, I understand one of you cookies want to see me.
Why, yes. Sit down. This is Miss Livingston.
Hiya, dame.
My name is Jack Benny.
Look, Bud, I ain't got much time. What do you want to see me about?
Well, I wanted to talk to you about a job.
Job?
Yes.
Can you wait on tables?
I don't mean that. I've got a job. Look, you see, I have a radio program, and I'd like you and your band to be on my show, Mr. Harris.
Just call me Curly.
Oh.
Till the first of the month.
Now, Mr. Harris, radio is a different type of work. You read music, of course.
Huh?
I mean, music, notes, arrangements. What's that on your music racks?
Termites. The joint's lousy with them. Oh, Harris, how can you be so bright when it's so dark down here?
See, Mary, this guy's got a terrific sense of humor. He'd probably be able to write my jokes for me.
I'll settle if he could just write.
Now, look, Harris, I want you on my program. So if you'll meet me Sunday morning at the studio, we'll talk it over.
Okay, I'll be there. Hey, Max, sprinkle the floor again. The customers want to dance.
And that, Mr. Kearns, is how I met Phil Harris.
Well, that's quite a story. Mr. Benny, just how did you discover Dennis Day?
Dennis Day? Well, to tell you the truth, Mary discovered him.
Really?
Yes, it was about 10 years ago. I was looking for a singer for my program. And one day Mary came rushing into my house.
Jack.
Right here, Mary. What is it?
Have you found a new singer yet?
No.
Well, I found one. His name is Dennis Day. Look, here's a picture of him.
Say, if the kid can sing, he's just what I want. Look at that face. Those bright, intelligent eyes.
I knew you'd like it. So I called his house and told him to come right over so you could meet him.
Well, Mary, when he gets here, let me do all of...
Ooh, maybe that's him now. I'll answer the door.
Hello, Mr. Benny.
That's Mr. Benny over there.
Oh.
Say, kid.
Yes, please?
Say, you're really polite, aren't you?
Oh, yes. My mother told me never to be fresh to old folks.
Now, kid, how would you like to be on the radio?
Oh, I'd like that very much. In fact, I'd like to get any kind of a job. Then I wouldn't have to let my father cut my hair.
Your father cut your hair?
Yeah. Yesterday, while he was giving me a trim, he cut one of my ears off.
Cut one of your ears off? Wait a minute, kid. You've got 2 ears.
Now, yes.
Look, Mary, I don't...
But,
He'll never do
Jack,
it. He'll
Jack,
never
listen.
do this, fella.
Jack.
He won't be good, I'm telling you. He'll never... I won't be able to stand him, I know.
Jack, you can just use him to sing. He doesn't have to say anything.
I guess so. Well, kid, how would you like to work on my program?
Well, I'll have to ask my mother first.
Your mother?
She's right outside. I'll go call her. Oh, Mother! Mother! Don't mind her greasy overalls. She just came from work.
Oh.
Mother, this is Mr. Benny.
How do you do?
How do you do? Now, Mrs. Day... she had to put her pipe wrench on my piano.
What are you mumbling about?
Mrs. Day, I'd like to have your son on my radio program.
Oh, Mr. Benny, you don't know what this means to us. Just a few minutes ago, my son was nothing, and now he's the star of your show.
Star?
He'll have lines to read, songs to sing. He'll have his own dressing room, and he'll be treated with the utmost respect.
Yeah, utmost.
Now, look, Mrs. Day, I want your boy to be on my program, but I just want him to sing a song.
Are you trying to hold him down? My boy has talent. He'll sing 2 songs.
Mrs. Day, put down that wrench. Not on the piano.
Don't shout at me.
Nobody shout. And you've got a lot of nerve invading the privacy of a man's house. After all, this is a private home.
What's private about it? You've got a lemonade stand on the lawn, a jukebox in the living room, a payphone in the hall, and a row of Bendix washing machines on the back porch.
There's no business like show business.
Now, look, Mrs. Day, if you want your boy to be on my program, just be at my lawyer's office tomorrow morning.
Gee, he's suing us already.
I'm not suing you. And go. Gee, I'm afraid, Mary, really.
That was quite a story, Mr. Benny. And I understand that through the years, Dennis has learned to love you like a father.
Yes, but his mother still hates me.
By the way, Mr. Benny, while you're off the air for the summer, who's going to replace you?
Oh, I'm glad you asked me that. We have a wonderful show for the summer. Now, my time every Sunday will be filled by Guy Lombardo and his orchestra. And it's really a very, very fine show.
Oh, yes, he's great.
Say, boss, you'll be on in a few minutes.
Oh, thanks, Rochester. Well, I got to be running along now, Mr. Kearns. Goodbye.
Bye, Mr. Benny. Say, Rochester, you've been with Mr. Benny for a long time, haven't you?
Oh, yes, about 12 years.
12 years? Say, that is a long time.
Yes, sir.
Well, Rochester, I suppose your salary's increased considerably since you first started.
Well, Mr. Benny gave me raises for the first 4 years, and then it suddenly stopped.
Why? What happened?
He adopted me.
Oh, yes. Say, Rochester, what's that lying on the dressing table?
Uh-oh, Mr. Benny forgot it.
Oh, boss!
Yes, Rochester?
You forgot it again.
Oh, well, I got to get right on the stage. Throw it to me.
Well, what do you know? He caught it right on his head. See you later, Mr. Kern.
Goodbye, Rochester. Well, folks, this closes another season. But we'll be with you again on Sunday, September 10th. In the meantime, be sure to listen to Guy Lombardo and his orchestra. I want to thank everybody connected with my show and all you listeners for making this past season so pleasant. Good night, everybody.